Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Job change for all people. Life career makes the world strongest. Chapter 51. This property. After reading Snow White's attribute panel, Li Xian frowned slightly. Undeniable. Bai Shui's ability is very powerful, regardless of the two SSS level abilities it possesses, or its spiritual attribute value as high as 500 points. As for that, make her unable to be eliminated on the physical level. The ability to immortality of information that can only be eliminated at the conceptual level. It made her a bug-level existence, directly based on the invincible ground. In addition, Bai Shui can get it from professions such as puppet masters. The ability to forcibly seize control of the opponent's puppet, and can be unlimited. The ability to control mechanical and puppet units. It can be said, as long as there is snow, Li Xian is equivalent to having an army with a completely unified will. But the problem is, how should Li Xian take Bai Shui away? Bai Shui's body is artificial intelligence. It's not just the size of the console in front of Li Xian's eyes. Instead, it directly occupies the 20th floor of the entire central building. Li Xian can't carry the whole floor with him, can he? And many more. Li Xian looked carefully at Bai Shui's attribute panel again. Information life. Bai Shui is not an artificial intelligence that relies on the mainframe. It is the information life without entity. It is information. Is that what it means? The current artificial intelligence host. It's just a carrier for Bai Shui. It's not Snow White's body. As long as there are others. A load that can carry Snow White. Bai Shui can leave here at any time. Think here. Li Xian's thoughts moved slightly. Summoned the terrifying robot in his equipment bar. Subsequently, Li Xian looked at Bai Shui and said, Bai Shui, you can transfer out of this console. Put it in this terrifying robot. And leave this shelter. Snow White nodded. Can. Do you want me to transfer information now? Can. My guess is correct. As long as there is a load of mechanical units. Bai Shui can leave here. That is, if you want to take Bai Shui with you. It only needs to refine electronic equipment such as a mobile phone and computer. You can take Bai Shui with you. No, you don't have to have these portable idea devices either. Maybe I can try it too. Under the situation where Bai Shui is pinned inside the terrifying robot. Include the terrorist robot in the equipment column. Between the thoughts in my heart, Li Xian looked at Bai Shui and continued. You can split apart. Or do you want to split a backup and transfer it in? I want to try it. As long as you are entrusted inside this terrifying robot. Take this terrifying robot back to the equipment rack. See if I can carry you around. Snow White nodded. I understand. Just finished speaking. A terrifying robot summoned by Li Xian. Just under the circumstance of not getting Li Xian's order. Get active on your own. I'm already inside this horror robot. Isolated part of my message. You are now ready to try it out. Bai Shui explained the situation to Li Xian. Li Xian nodded. There was a slight movement in my heart. Put this terrifying robot in the equipment column. Then, Li Xian looked at Bai Shui. How do you feel? I lost touch with my other half. Does it affect you? No. Li Xian thought about it. The terrifying robot was summoned again. Then continued to look at Bai Shui. What about now? Has the other half of you disappeared because of this? No. Snow White responded. I reconnected with the other half of me. The other half is in the space of the equipment bar. It has been kept open and has not been affected in any way. Collect Bai Shui into the equipment bar. It won't have any effect on Snow White. That is, even if there is no portable device such as a mobile phone or a computer. You can also pass this terrorist robot. Take Snow White with you. Also, in Li Xian's mind, recalling that I was in various warehouses in the military zone. I saw a series of small mechanical units such as drones, mechanical dragonflies, and bionic mechanical birds. I should refine a few more small mechanical units. And give them all to Bai Shui to control. Then, I can refine another terrifying robot. Let Coco equip it too. In this way, Snow White can control two terrifying robots at the same time. We fought with a large group of small mechanical units. It's equivalent to me and Coco. Take a small army with you. By the way, there are also Mai and Coco's power armor. It can also be like Jarvis in Iron Man. Install Baishui as an auxiliary system. That's exactly how it plays out. Baishuina has inherited the powerful computing power of artificial intelligence. In Li Xian's mind, flashed one after another, ideas and ideas on how to maximize the role of Baishui. Put the thoughts in your own mind. List and record one by one. Until I can think of no more ideas. Li Xian finally finished his conception. He turned to look at Baishui and said, Baishui, transfer you to the horror robot. You will follow me from now on. Assist me and my teammates to fight. Yes, Baishui nodded in salute. Then the projection on the console disappeared. Transferred into the horror robot. The use of sublimation skills is over. I got it. Baishui can directly transform into an entire army. Next, it's time to continue to the 11th and 10th floors of the central building. Look at the information and materials related to the genetic warrior. After greeting Baishui, who was controlling the terrifying robot next to him. Li Xian and Baishui are together. Follow the stairs of the hub building. Head towards the 11th floor of the central building. After going down 9 floors in a row, Li Xian and Baishui arrived at the 11th floor smoothly. In a security library at this layer, Li Xian successfully found it. That share was unavailable because of the computer. And the genetic warrior research data recorded on paper documents. But it's a pity. Content of this study, Li Xian couldn't understand it at all. Get no useful information. I hope to meet someone who can understand this in the future. Reconfigure this genetic warrior potion. With such an idea, Li Xian took this paper research material, together with the previous diary, placed in their own professional space. Immediately afterwards, Li Xian, who got this information, continued to the 10th floor of the central building. It's here. Li Xian saw a large number of them being stored. The raw material liquid medicine specially used to configure the genetic warrior medicine. Also saw a box, the genetic warrior potion that has been successfully formulated. These liquid medicines and raw materials. I definitely can't take it with me. It can only be stored here. Wait until there is a chance in the future. Come back here again and take all these things away. But this box of genetic warrior medicine, I can take it away now. Turn your eyes away from the raw materials and liquid medicine. Li Xian walked up to the 3 boxes of genetic warrior potions and took a look. See this on the box containing the genetic warrior potion. A note was posted. Don Gene Medicine. Don Gene Medicine. There are not only 3 types of finished products, Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. And one that hasn't been researched yet. Is it named the Hope Level Genetic Warrior Potion? What's the situation with this Don Gene medicine? With doubts in my heart, Li Xian opened the box containing the genetic medicine. I saw it in this box. There are 10 bottles of medicine, a syringe, a bottle of sterile alcohol and 10 disposable needles. And on those 10 bottles of medicine, Li Xian felt it for a while. The volatility of professional items. These researchers in the laboratory. It's actually under the bonus of no professional. Have you made a potion recognized by MIST as professional equipment? These people are capable, if you give them some time. Maybe they really have the possibility of surviving. While amazed in my heart, Li Xian stretched out his hand gently. Touched one of the bottles of medicine. Next second. Properties panels for these potions. Presented in front of Li Xian. Item: Don Gene Potion. Level: unable to determine. Effect: after injecting all 10 bottles of potions, the bloodline power in the injected person can evolve. Regardless of the bloodline level of the injected person, it can evolve into SS level bloodline. Remarks: this is the final crystallization created by a group of top geniuses of the old era with all their talents at the last moment of their lives. A bunch of unprofessional people. A copy was actually made. Only weapons and equipment of epic level and above quality. Only have the potion with additional notes. Those who made this potion. It really is a group of geniuses. And the effect of this potion is not bad at all. It's actually able to directly transfer the blood power of any level. All evolved into SS level bloodlines. This is indeed worthy of the remarks it has. Li Xian was amazed in his heart. Very solemnly take this potion. Received into his own professional space. Subsequently, bring all the gains you have gained this time. Li Xian left the central building. Next, it's time to continue killing monsters to obtain miracle energy. Constantly strengthen the weapons and equipment I own. Continuously refining more mechanical units, while strengthening my own strength. Form a mechanical army controlled by Bai Shui. Explore the mists for me. Continue to become stronger, continue to dig more ruins and prepare. With this in mind, Li Xian walked slowly towards the passageway of the shelter. Kill the monsters gathered in the sanctuary square. The process of gaining miracle energy. It is a very boring and tedious process. Holding 2 magic pistols in his hand. I don't know how many shots were fired. After killing an unknown number of mist walkers, Li Xian felt it again. It feels like the miraculous energy value in my body has reached full value. It's finally full of miracle energy again. Look at how much miraculous energy there is this time. Li Xian opened his property panel and took a look. 130/130ths. Levels are not promoted. It's just that the miracle energy has returned to the full value of 130 points. With 130 points of miracle energy, there are at least 20,000 mist walking dead. Killed more than 20,000 mist walking corpses but did not raise 1 level. It seems that I am at this level. Continue to kill these misty walking corpses. There is no way to get experience points anymore. The miracle energy can only be obtained from them. Li Xian shook his head. Didn't pay much attention to this. Upgrade the attributes brought to you by leveling up. It's nothing to myself. As long as the miracle energy can be obtained normally. It doesn't matter whether you get a little experience or not. So, Li Xian was not produced. The idea of wanting to change places to continue hunting monsters and gain experience. But with an attitude of indifference. Return to the cave through the earth escape skill. Prepare yourself for the weapons and equipment you have. Carry out a new round of refining and extraction. In the cave. Li Xian back here again. Put the power armor in your professional space. Called out. The carrying weight of the professional space. It is related to the 2 attributes of strength attribute and physical strength attribute. So the first step is to put my power armor first. Also equip the refiners as professionals. Increase the carrying capacity of my professional space. In this way, more war machines can be installed in the professional space. Between the thoughts in my heart, Li Xian used refining skills. Consumed 25 miracle energy. Get your own set of power armor. It was also refined into professional equipment. Then, it's time to strengthen the weapons and equipment. Li Xian looked at the 4 guns in his professional space. Look at a series of equipment on his equipment bar. Start thinking before extraction. After a while, Li Xian made his own decision. The magic pistol has been fully extracted +15. This round of extraction will not continue for the time being. As for the rest, the most worthy of strengthening. It must be 4 pieces of equipment, power armor, terrorist robot, Gatling, and grenade gun. Among them, the attributes provided by power armor. It's also related to the size of my professional space. It's about how many war machines I can take away. So, give priority to strengthening the power armor. With this in mind, Li Xian's power armor against himself. Started the first extraction enhancement. Base. With a flash of golden light. Properties of power armor. On the basis of the initial attribute, it has increased by 20%. And as the price of this extraction enhancement, the amount of miraculous energy that Li Xian possesses. From 105/130ths. Down to 95/130ths. 1 extraction enhancement consumes 10 miracle energy points. Sure enough, the better the equipment. The more energy you need to extract, the more energy you need. Li Xian sighed, but it continued to face its own power armor. 4 more extraction fortifications were performed. Strengthen it to the level of extraction +5. Extraction +5, not enough. Let's strengthen it to +10 first. Li Xian continued to face the power armor. The 6th extraction enhancement has been carried out. And it consumes 15 miracle energy. After Li Xian's miracle energy has 40 points left. The extraction level of the power armor. It also successfully reached the level of extraction +6. Extraction enhancement of 6 to 10. Has the miracle energy consumption increased by 50%? All extraction enhancements are calculated according to this rule. Or is it only power armor? Because the data available for comparison is only the magic pistol. So Li Xian couldn't come up with a specific answer. And to test this idea, Li Xian stopped continuing to strengthen the power armor. Instead, select the magic grenade enhancement for extraction enhancement. Base. The golden light flashed again. The extraction enhancement of the magic grenade gun +1. Li Xian's miraculous energy. It is reduced by 5 points. 5 points of miracle energy at a time. This can just be used to verify my speculation. Li Xian didn't hesitate too much. Another 4 consecutive extraction enhancements. After reducing the amount of his miracle energy to 15 points, Li Xian's magic grenade gun enhanced to level 1 of extraction +5. Immediately afterwards, Li Xian performed the 6th extraction enhancement again. Then, Li Xian's miraculous energy, just from 15 o'clock, reduced to 7 points. Understood. Every 5 extraction levels increases the consumption of miracle energy by 50%. When increasing, if it is less than 1 point, increase by 1 point. This is the consumption growth curve of extraction enhancement. Li Xian figured out the situation. Keep this rule in mind. Subsequently, Li Xian used the Earth Escape skill again. Flee in the direction of the refuge. There are only 7 points of miracle energy left. It is also time to continue to obtain miracle energy. Another round of crazy killings. Killed tens of thousands of fog-walking corpses again. Kill those misty walking corpses that poured into the refuge. Quantity can no longer be relied upon. After filling up the entire refuge square, the total number of miracle energy of Li Xian, it was finally back to the full value of 130 points. And after having 130 miracle energy again, Li Xian immediately returned to the cave. Continue with the gear you have. The extraction enhancement has been launched again. Power armor has been enhanced from extraction +6 to extraction +10. A total of 60 miracle energy points are consumed. The magic grenade gun extracts +6, and the enhancement value extracts +10. A total of 32 miracle energy points were consumed. The initial extraction of the Gatling magic machine gun consumes 7 miracle energy points. Reinforced to +5, a total of 35 miracle energy points are consumed. So far, the miraculous energy value possessed by Li Xian. 3 points left. There are not many monsters left in the sanctuary square. It is estimated that it will be difficult to gather 130 full points of miracle energy again. The remaining miracle energy, just to refine other war machines. Get ready to form a mechanical army that you can carry with you. As for the extraction enhancement of other equipment, let's use the miracle energy obtained in the future to strengthen it. With this in mind, Li Xian opened the attribute panel of his enhanced weapon. Equipment magic armor, extraction +10. Quality ordinary level. Energy 1000 right pointing arrow 3000. Attributes daily activities consume 1 unit of energy S, and combat states consume 2 units of energy S. Skill 1. Magic armor. When equipped with magic armor, the wearer's power will increase to 300 right pointing arrow 900 points, and physical strength and agility will increase to 200 right pointing arrow 600 points. 2. Mana engine. Mana armor can absorb energy by itself, at a rate of 2 right pointing arrow 6 unit energy per second. 3. Ultimate overload. Energy consumption is increased to 10 points per second, and the value of various attributes is increased 50% right pointing arrow 150%, which lasts until the energy consumption is exhausted. Weapon magic grenade gun extraction +10. Quality ordinary level. Damage 400 to 50 right pointing arrow 200 150. Attack speed 3 times per second right pointing arrow 9 times per second. Damage range within the landing radius 20 right pointing arrow 60 meters, the damage decreases at the edge. Skill 1. Grenade magazine. This weapon can absorb energy to make magic grenades. The production speed is 5 seconds, and it can store up to 15 right pointing arrow 45 magic grenades. 2. Explosion damage. When the target unit is a flesh and blood unit, the damage will increase 50% right pointing arrow 150%. Weapon Gatling magic machine gun extraction +5. Quality ordinary level. Damage 40 to 50 right pointing arrow 800 to 100. Attack speed 100 times per second right pointing arrow 200 times per second. Skill 1. Heavy weapons. When holding this weapon, the holder's movement speed will be reduced by 10%. 2. Energy magazine. This weapon can absorb energy to make bullets. The production speed is 0.5 seconds, and it can store up to 300 right-pointing arrows 600 energy bullets. 3. Reserve magazine. After the capacity of the energy magazine is full, the weapon can make reserve bullets, and the reserve bullets can store up to 1000 right-pointing arrow 2000 pieces. Fear. After extraction fortification. The attributes of these three weapons can only be described as horror. The total value of attributes provided by power armor reaches 2100 points. Converted to grade, it is equivalent to level 210 of the ordinary professional level. The target range of the grenade gun. It even turned into a circular area with a radius of 60 meters. What is the concept of a 120-meter circular area? That is more than 11,000 square meters. To compare with the real thing. The playground area of the common 400-meter runway in general schools. The area is about 15,000 square meters, approximately equal to 2/3 of the size of a 400-meter playground. And this, but it's only within the striking range of a grenade gun. It can be said, before the grenade gun runs out of ammo. There is no such thing as crowd tactics in front of Li Xian. As for the last Gatling magic machine gun, that data is even more exaggerated. Under Gatling's full firepower, the minimum damage that Li Xian can deal out per second is 16,000 points. If will 2,600 bullets, all poured on a single target. That's theoretically speaking. Li Xian can hit a terrifying output close to 416,000 to 520,000. Hundreds of thousands of horrible output. Who can have such a terrifying life value? I'm afraid that even the strongest Daxia king whose level has exceeded level 100. I can't bear such a terrible output. It can be said. Just relying on the existing equipment in Li Xian's hands. He already has it. The power to become a top pro. Certainly. The premise is Li Xian's attack can hit those top powerhouses. Under the situation where the difference in agility attributes is too large. It is very likely that those top players will be there before Li Xian can react. Just use a set of combos first. Cleared Li Xian's life value. Although I already have the strength to challenge the top powerhouses. But there are still some shortcomings at present. It is necessary to continue to obtain more miraculous energy. Continue to gain more growth. Bring grenade guns and Gatling back to professional space. Equip yourself with fell armor. Li Xian uses the Earth Escape skill. Flee towards the square of the refuge. Come to Sanctuary Square again. Li Xian was not like the previous few times, relying on the Earth Escape skills to occupy a geographical advantage. Then use the magic pistol to attack. Instead, it appeared directly above the refuge square. Roar, see Li Xian appearing in the square. Those foggy corpses gathered in the square. They roared and charged Li Xian. And Li Xian, who was targeted by these misty walking corpses. There was a smile on his face. Just use you, let me experience it. The power possessed by the magic armor. The voice fell. Enchanted by Li Xian to extract +10 magic armor. It emerged on the surface of Li Xian's body. Enveloped Li Xian in it. Clang, 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 a dense fog of walking corpses surrounded Li Xian. Crazy attack on Li Xian. But they attack, but it couldn't break through the defense of the magic armor at all. It can only make the magic armor make a sound. The sound of flesh slapping metal. While these mist walking corpses are attacking, Li Xian also clenched his fists. He punched the walking corpses in the mist that surrounded him. Boom! Terrifying power surged out of Li Xian's fist. Li Xian's fist blasted out in front of him. Dozens of misty walking corpses at the front were directly blown into blood mist. There are hundreds of fog walking corpses further back. But they were all blown into the sky. Fly out backwards. Just a random punch can have this effect. The bonus brought by the 900-point power attribute is really abnormal. After a sigh in my heart, Li Xian continued to wave his fists. Started a fist-to-body battle with this group of misty walking corpses. I don't know how long the battle lasted. Until the last monster in his field of vision is also killed. Li Xian finally stopped fighting. Dead, the monsters in this shelter. That's why I killed them all. Looking at the corpse of the monster lying on the ground, Li Xian didn't feel any discomfort. Only for myself can no longer obtain miracle energy so easily. And feel a little bit sad. But no matter how reluctant Li Xian is, these monsters have also been killed by Li Xian. Then I want to continue to obtain miracle energy. You can only go to other places to hunt monsters. Hey, let's see how much miraculous energy we have stored up. Hide fell armor into the equipment slot. Li Xian opens his property panel. Look at the miracle energy column. 128 130ths. 128 miracle energy points. All the words of refining the terrifying robot. I can refine 8 more units, and then there will be a little leftover. Used to form a portable mechanical army. This amount should be enough, right? Close the properties panel. Li Xian walked towards the interior of the shelter again. Soon after, Li Xian came to the military zone. Came to the warehouses that store war machines one by one. Under the attribute bonus provided by the magic armor. The size of my current professional space. It's about 31 times that of without magic armor. It sounds pretty big, but that's pretty much it. Just about the size of a truck. It can't hold many war machines. So you must choose carefully. In warehouses where war machines are placed one by one. After going back and forth many times. And use the intelligent program of the power armor to communicate with Bai Shui. After listening to Bai Shui's advice, Li Xian picked out these war machines as follows. 5 scary robots for battle. 20 mechanical dogs for scouting and fighting. 4 mobile field robots used to expand the body and build a temporary defense line. 100 mechanical flying mosquitoes for sneaking in and collecting information. 50 bionic mechanical birds for camp security. And has an energy shield function. And a military jeep equipped with a laser cannon and a Gatling Vulcan cannon. Combat, reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, camp security. From now on, all these things will be handed over to Bai Shui. I don't need to worry about anything anymore. And then there's this jeep for transportation. These are the mechanical army I carry with me. These things will be picked out by myself. After all, the income goes to the professional space. Li Xian was about to leave the refuge. But just a few steps away, Li Xian stopped again. If there are no accidents, I'm in a short time. I won't go back to this shelter again. In that case, before you leave, let's bring some more things. With this in mind, Li Xian came to the weapon warehouse again. Put special weapon in. Weapons such as laser swords, micro-missile launchers, magnetic storm coils, and laser energy are used with power armor. All took some and put them in the professional space. Then, Li Xian returned to the conventional weapons warehouse. Go to your own professional space. A large number of consumables such as grenades and bullets were stuffed in. After installing all these, Li Xian finally left the military zone. Go out of the shelter again. And leave this time. If nothing else, Li Xian has been around for a long time. Will never come back here again. Brother Li Xian, let me tell you. This armor is amazing. It doesn't matter if it's an ordinary monster. It's still an elite level, boss level monster. This set of magic armor can kill them with one punch. There is such a powerful magic armor on the body. Even if it is the number 1 War Academy in Great Sha. We can easily pass the exam. Li Xian walked out of the shelter. When returning to the cave, and Kiki also experienced the power of the magic armor outside. He went back to the cave and waited for Li Xian. See Li Xian appearing in the cave. She was immediately excited. He ran to Li Xian. He kept praising the magic armor on her body. And in Encore's praise, Li Xian smiled, with a light wave. Put yourself in the equipment bar. The terrifying robot entrusting Bai Shui was summoned. Coco, let me introduce you. A new member of our team. Li Xian first said something to Ankaki. Then he looked at Bai Shui and said, Bai Shui, this is Encore, my teammate. You take over her power armor auxiliary system. Communicate with her and get to know each other. The head of the terrifying robot nodded slightly. Next second, then the voice of Encore's power armor auxiliary program sounded. Ms. Ankaki, hello, I am the Information Life Bai Shui created by Master Li Xian. Information Life, Snow White, is it this iron lump with 6 legs? And where did her voice come from? Encore never touched this stuff. Confused and bewildered, looking at the terrifying robot summoned by Li Xian. I have no idea what this is all about. It seems that it needs to be done from beginning to end. Explained to Coco. There is something about this shelter in Baishui. Li Xian sorted out his thoughts. Then began the explanation of Enkoko. After a long time, after some explanation by Li Xian, Enkiki finally figured out what was going on. Then, Enkiki looked at Li Xian's eyes. The color of adoration emerged. That is to say, Brother Li Xian, you only rely on one person. Only hundreds of thousands of monsters were killed. Then use your natural skills. Created a race that never existed. Li Xian thought about it. I feel that there is not much problem with Encore's understanding in this way. Then, Li Xian nodded and said, it can be understood in this way. Brother Li Xian, you are really amazing. And Kiki praised Li Xian with admiration. Subsequently, she seemed to remember something. Continued to ask Li Xian. The monsters in the underground shelter are gone. Then where are we going to hunt monsters next? It is to continue hunting monsters in Daxia. Or directly into the fog. Hunting those more powerful monsters in the mist. Li Xian smiled lightly. Enter the fog to explore. It's better to wait until we are in the War Academy. Let's proceed after we have obtained enough information. And during the 2 months before entering the War Academy. Get as much energy as I need first. Refine our mechanical army. Then strengthen our equipment. Anka nodded. He clenched his fist and promised Li Xian. I will help you, Brother Li Xian. Looking at Enkiki, who is full of fighting spirit and energy. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. I read it right. Enkiki is really a good person, able to deal with him. Give Encore the first set of fell armor. Let Encore be your teammate. It is indeed a wise choice. When I got the Dawn Potion before. It's also because I don't have blood power. I don't know how to use it. Now it seems that it is a good choice to use it for Coco. But, I just gave her a set of magic armor not long ago. Give her the Dawn Potion now. It's too much to give at once. So, this Dawn Potion. Let's give it to her after a while. Thoughts surged in my heart. Li Xian and Encore together. Walked out of the hole that had been in for a long time. Back to the mountains beyond the burrow. It started for a period of about 2 months. Monster hunting and miracle power gaining action. After more than a month. Lake and Sea Province area. On the way to Huhai City. Buzz. A military jeep controlled and driven by Bai Shui. At a constant speed, it keeps approaching towards the capital of Huhai Province. In the back seat of a military jeep. And Kiki rested in his seat. Although Li Xian's eyes were looking at the scenery outside the window. But there are other things on my mind. Nearly 2 months. Me and Cocos rank, although it has only been raised from level 13 to level 15. But the amount of miraculous energy obtained is a little bit less. The ones in my professional space. War machines such as terrorist robots and mechanical dogs. More than half of them have been refined and can be put into use. The next thing we have to do is, in Li Xian's heart. We are planning our next action plan. One thought after another. It kept flashing in Li Xian's mind. While Li Xian was thinking about these things. Boom, there was a soft sound. Li Xian felt a limp. I don't know what it is. Pressed on his thigh. Li Xian withdrew his gaze from the window. Take a look at your own thigh. I saw that Encore had fallen into a deep sleep. Lying on his lap. It turned out to be Encore who was asleep. He lay down on Li Xian's side. It just landed on Li Xian's thigh. Are you asleep? It seems that this time of fighting, you are tired too. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. Encore did not wake up the sleeping soundly. Instead, stick out a finger. Gently poked Enkiki's delicate face. Very soft, very moist, feel very good. Subsequently, Li Xian gently touched Enkiki's furry animal ears. Soft and silky, it's like stroking a cat. I have been fighting before and haven't found it yet. Now take a closer look at this. After Cocos' bloodline is awakened. Not only is the skin more delicate than before. Even the appearance has become cuter than before. Looking at Enkiki lying on his lap. Li Xian discovered a certain XP hidden deep in his heart. Under the influence of Enkoko. It's getting stronger and stronger. Speaking of which, I used to help Kiki. It's because of the XP effect of the beastier girl. Perhaps I can try it sometime. See if we can take our relationship further. Encore looks pretty good. She belongs to the sweet and lovely type of beauties, coupled with the uniqueness of her beast-eared mother. To say that Li Xian has no idea about Encore, that is absolutely impossible. Just Li Xian before, I have always focused on obtaining miracle energy, so I didn't think about it. Now the matter of gaining miracle energy has come to an end. Li Xian naturally had this idea in his heart. Well, then take advantage of the time when you are collecting information at the Institute of Warfare. Cultivate a good relationship with Coco. Strive to be before exploring the fog. Take down this beast-ear girl. After touching Encore's animal ears for the last time, Li Xian also leaned on the chair, gently closed his eyes. Soon after, Li Xian's consciousness gradually blurred. Same with Enkoko too, fell into a deep sleep. And after Li Xian fell into a deep sleep for an unknown amount of time, Encore, who has been sleeping soundly on Li Xian's lap, suddenly opened his eyes. Why did I fall asleep? And still lying down? And Kiki opened his eyes in a daze. Then, she saw Li Xian's upper body. See Li Xian's smooth chin. I fell asleep on brother Li Xian's lap. And Kiki's face instantly turned red. She sat up abruptly. Somewhat embarrassed, I was going to apologize to Li Xian. But she hasn't waited for her apology to come out. She found out Li Xian has also fallen asleep. Doesn't seem to know about it. It turns out that brother Li Xian is also asleep. I don't know anything. Enkaki let out a long sigh of relief. The blushing color on his face has all faded away. But soon, Enkaki seemed to remember something. Blush appeared on his face again. She hesitated for a moment, softly opened his mouth and shouted, "Brother Li Xian." Li Xian did not respond. "Brother Li Xian." Encore turned up the volume. "Call Li Xian again." Li Xian still didn't respond. "Looks like she's fast asleep. It won't be easy to get up." Enkaki muttered softly. Then it was like a cute kitten. Carefully lay down in Li Xian's arms. There was a happy and joyful expression on his face. After a while, maybe it was worried about being discovered by Li Xian. Or maybe it was for some other reason. Encore lying in Li Xian's arms. "Sit back to your seat." He looked at the man sitting next to him. For Li Xian, Enkaki actually had a good impression in his heart. First of all, Li Xian's appearance is not bad. He looks masculine and handsome, with a gentle temperament. Wherever you go, you can become the focus of the crowd. Secondly, as early as the reading period, because of her blood in school, he was isolated and neglected by other students. Few people are willing to contact her. Only Li Xian was alone. Did not care about her identity and blood. Willing to communicate with her and treat her like a friend. So at that time, she has a crush on Li Xian. It's just that Li Xian was brilliant at that time. He is a genius favored by all the teachers and students in the school. She is just a foreign species, who cannot even awaken her blood. So she even has a crush on Li Xian. I just dare to keep that kind of good feeling deep in my heart. But now it's different. Encore now, not only has the profession become a high-level special-level profession. Even talent, they have also become 2S-level talents. Although mine is still not as good as brother Li Xian. But at least I can match up with brother Li Xian. And Kiki clenched her small fists, looking at Li Xian next to him. The tone is very firm and said, "Enter the War Academy with brother Li Xian." The period of time I went to the Institute of War to collect information on the foggy area. It's a good opportunity for me and brother Li Xian to get closer. Enkoko, come on, seize this hard-won opportunity. Let this man be your man. The provincial capital of Huhai province, outside Huhai city. The military jeep controlled by Snow White stopped slowly. Li Xian and Enkiki got off the car one after another. It's only 2 or 3 hours. We started from Anping City, the westernmost city in Huhai province. Come to Huhai City, the easternmost city in Huhai province. This thing called a car. It's really amazing. Looking at the Huhai city wall not far ahead, and Kiki couldn't help but let out an exclamation. Feeling the convenience and speed of car. Feelings about Enkoko. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. The speed of things like cars can only be regarded as average. Before the age of mists. It really depends on the speed. It still depends on the train, the plane and so on. Trains and planes. A look of doubt appeared on Enkiki's face. But Li Xian didn't explain the question to Encore. There will be a chance later. I refined several trains and planes. Then you'll know what it is. While talking, Li Xian moved the military jeep next to him. He took it back to his professional space. Subsequently, Li Xian pointed to Huhai City in front of him and said, "What we're going to do now? Just go to Huhai City. Exchange all the monster materials we have collected during this time into cash. Then use the teleportation array in Huhai City. Teleport to the Great Sha Royal City where the Great Sha First War Academy is located." Enkiki nodded. Follow along with Li Xian. Walk towards Huhai City ahead. After a while, Li Xian and Enkiki successfully passed through the city gate. Entered the city streets of Huhai City. Compared to a small city like Anping City, the streets of Huhai City are several times wider. There are a wide variety of shops on the street. Pedestrians come and go on the road. It looks very lively. Brother Li Xian, let's go directly to the Monster Hunter Association. There are too many people here, I don't like it very much. Because of being isolated for a long time, he suffered from strange eyes from others. So Encore doesn't really like crowded places. The prosperity on this street. It only made Enkiki feel uncomfortable all over. Don't want to stay longer. And the emotions for the Enkoko. Li Xian naturally knew about it. So Li Xian didn't stay too much on the street. After casually finding a passerby to ask about the road. Just take Encore with you. Walked in the direction of the Monster Hunter Association. 10 minutes later, Li Xian pushed open the door of the Huhai City Monster Hunter Association. Joined the Monster Hunter Association with Encore. There are also many people in the Monster Hunter Association. Handle business at the counter, search for tasks in the task bar, and communicate with teams in the communication area. Plenty of monster hunters come and go in the guild. It looks very lively. To get things done quickly, Li Xian and Enkiki didn't wait and see too much. He came directly to the counter responsible for recycling monster materials. "Hello, we got some materials in the wild. Now I want to exchange it for cash." Li Xian was straightforward, explained the situation to the staff at the counter. The staff member nodded, smiled professionally. Pointing to a room around the counter, he said, "Please go to the trading room first and wait. I'll come over to receive the two of you later." Li Xian nodded, entered the trading room with the Encore, and sat down on the seat in the trading room. After about a minute or two, that staff member entered the room from another door. Continued to say to Li Xian and the two, "Please show the materials you want to sell first. I'll give you an estimate for your materials." Li Xian nodded. Lightly tapped the open space next to it. Clatter. Along with this from Li Xian, a large pile of teeth, fur and other materials of various beasts. All piled up in the open space. A hill was piled up directly. There are so many materials. And there are still many boss-level monster materials. A look of surprise appeared on the staff's face. Some can't believe it. Li Xian alone. But this is not the end. Because after Li Xian released all the materials in his own space, Encore responsible for the containment of these materials. Also upload the materials in your professional space. Let it all out. Clatter. More materials than what Li Xian released. It directly occupies nearly half of the trading room. So many. A small monster hunter guild. There's not so much monster material accumulated in half a month, right? The shock in the hearts of the staff cannot be overstated. She looked at Li Xian and Enkiki. Can't help but ask aloud. "Just asking, you two. Is it a newcomer to a large monster hunter guild?" Newcomer to the large monster hunter guild. Li Xian shook his head in doubt. "No, is there a problem?" "No, are they not members of a large assembly?" "That is, are these materials collected by themselves after killing monsters?" "The materials here are restored to the words of monsters. At least there are tens of thousands of them, right? Only 2 people can kill so many monsters. Then there is only one possibility. These 2 people, at least they are also special level professionals. Even There may also be a brave professional. The staff looked at Li Xian and the two of them. There was a hint of envy. You two, please wait a moment. There's too much monster material here. Manual counting would take a long time. I'm going to find a dedicated lifestyle accountant to help with the count. Please wait in the room first, both of you. Finished. The staff member left the room. Find someone to come over and help count the amount of materials. Huang Linlin, that is, the staff member of the Monster Hunter Association, did not make Li Xian and Encore wait too long. Just a few minutes later, Huang Linlin brought a professional accountant from the life department. Came to the trading room. And use your professional skills. He began to take stock of the materials piled up on the ground. And while the accountant was taking inventory, Huang Linlin also sat down in front of Li Xian and Nkiki. He warmed up to Li Xian and the two very warmly. After communicating with each other and having a basic acquaintance, Huang Linlin suddenly said, I see you are still very young. This time I came to Huhai City, in addition to selling these materials. I probably want to use the teleportation array of Huhai City. Go to Daxia Royal City to take the entrance examination for the Great Sha First War Academy. Li Xian nodded. Yes, our purpose this time. I just want to go to the First War Academy in Daxia. Participate in the entrance examination of the First War Academy. A look of approval appeared on Huang Linlin's face. Geniuses like you. It's true that they all want to go to the First War Academy. But soon, a worried expression appeared on Huang Linlin's face again. But have you ever thought about it? Geniuses from all over the country are gathered in the First War Academy. Then how fierce will the competition between you be? Competition? Do you mean to persuade me not to go to the First Academy? Li Xian frowned slightly. Looking across to Huang Linlin, she said, It seems that you have something to tell us. What do you want to say? Just say it. Huang Linlin, who was spotted by Li Xian, felt a little embarrassed. But she adjusted quickly, said very seriously, The educational resources of Huhai University have been greatly improved this year. Now I'm worried that those top geniuses will go to the First Academy. There are not the right students to utilize and assimilate these resources. As the saying goes, the head of a chicken is better than the tail of a phoenix. With your talents, if you can be admitted to Huhai University, it will definitely be cultivated emphatically. Maybe we can get more resources than the students of First University. It turned out to be a lobbyist for the local war academy. Local war schools in each province. Generally, cooperation will be reached with the local Monster Hunter Association. Let them help attract some talented people to be admitted to the War Academy. People like Huang Linlin are very common. Only, compared with the First War Academy, the gap between the Huhai War School, it is equivalent to a top university like Qingbei. The gap between it and a slightly better urban university. So even before the professional awakening, Li Xian has never been to the Huhai War School. Take it into consideration. Plus after my previous career awakening, the attitude of the Huhai War School towards itself. Naturally, Li Xian would not even consider the Huhai War Academy. So, facing Huang Linlin's words, Li Xian just smiled and shook his head. No, I still feel. Don't rush to refuse. Huang Linlin interrupted Li Xian. Take out a copy of the admissions profile of the Lake Sea Warfare Academy. To Li Xian says, to attract talent to join. Huhai War School is not only better than the number 1 war school. The admissions exam started 3 days in advance. Also on the top 10 of the admissions test. All of them have generous rewards. Even if you are really not interested in the Institute of Warfare, you can also participate first and get the reward. Li Xian looked at the admission profile in Huang Linlin's hand. Rewards for the first place in the admissions examination. 10 drops of Misty Magic Fountain, 1 Talent Enhancement Stone, 1 Equipment Upgrade Magic Stone, 1 Treasure Level Weapon, and 10 million cash. Rewards for the second place in the admissions examination. 5 drops of Misty Magic Fountain, 1 Magic Stone for Equipment Upgrade, 1 Rare Weapon, and 5 million cash. Rewards for the third place in the admissions examination. Read the contents of this admissions profile. Li Xian became excited instantly. Fountain of Misty Fog is a kind of treasure that improves attributes. Every time you take 1 point, you can randomly increase 2 attribute points. Talent enhancement stones can enhance talents. Equipment upgrade magic stone. It can be through the use of casting skills. Upgrade the level of equipment. Not to mention treasure level weapons. Even on the frontline battlefield, there are not many people who can own weapons of this level. It can be said, these things are rare good things. Certainly, the most attractive to Li Xian are those 2 equipment upgrade magic stones. If you can get these 2 things, then can I armor me and focus mana? Everything is upgraded once. Upgrade from normal level to boutique level. Ordinary level mana armor is already so powerful. If it is upgraded to the boutique level, have to admit. Look at these things given in the admissions profile of the Huhai War College. Li Xian was moved. Anyway, these rewards can be obtained as long as you get the ranking. It's not limited to joining the academy. Just go over and grab a wave of wool. After we're done, use the teleportation array to teleport to Daxia King City. No, didn't I see the benefits and want to grab the wool? I'm taking revenge. At the beginning, the Huhai War Academy was after my professional awakening. Brought me endless humiliation. I just want to avenge my revenge. That's right, I'm not pulling wool. I really want revenge. After giving myself a self-hypnosis in my heart, Li Xian accepted the enrollment introduction from Huang Linlin. Wait until the entrance examination of Huhai University begins. We sent it over to have a look. Not long after accepting the admissions profile of Huhai University, the professional accountant brought by Huang Linlin. The inventory of those materials was also successfully completed. Sister Huang, I've finished my calculations. These monster materials they brought. It's worth 8.97 million Daxia coins in total. The accountant made a report to Huang Linlin. Huang Linlin looked at Li Xian and the 2 of them. Do you 2 have any opinions on this price? Li Xian shook his head. Before coming here, Li Xian asked Bai Shui to do the calculation first. The amount obtained is about the same as this figure. So Li Xian has no objections. If you have no comments, then I will accept your materials at this price. However, our association doesn't have that much cash right now. So I'm going to write you a check for the Daxia Bank that is accepted nationwide. Is it okay? Can, although there are no computers or anything in this world. But the banking industry still exists. After all, there was such a thing as a bank in ancient times. The world has experienced the age of civilization. There's no reason why you can't get these things out. After about 10 minutes, bring the check that Huang Linlin wrote out. Li Xian and Encore together walked out of the professional association. Standing on the street outside the professionals association, Encore, who hadn't spoken before, can't help but ask Li Xian. Brother Li Xian, we really are. Are you going to take the exam at Huhai Zanjun Academy? Obviously this school is after you awaken your profession. He was the first one to stand up and abandon you, Brother Li Xian. I don't like this institution. I don't want to take their admissions exam. Li Xian smiled, gently touched Enkiki's head and said, because they abandoned me, I'm going to take their admissions exam. Think about it, in the admissions exam they hold, I won the first place with an absolute advantage. Then drop a sentence, what if it was how it was at the beginning? Now I might really choose the Lake and Sea Warfare Academy. Wouldn't this make them regret the decision they made? And Kiki tilted his head and thought for a while. It turns out that this is indeed the case. And, look at this. Li Xian took out the admissions profile of Huhai University. Pointing to the exam ranking reward above, he said, the rewards for the first and second place. They all have equipment to upgrade magic stones. If I can get these 2 magic stones, then the magic armor for the 2 of us. It can be upgraded to the boutique level. The attribute can get another leap forward. Enkiki's eyes also lit up. During this period of nearly 2 months, she has fully experienced the power of magic armor. If only the magic armor could be upgraded by 1 level. Reach the level of excellence. The performance of the magic armor is bound to be raised by another level. You can feel proud. Take a breath for what happened back then. It can also greatly improve your own strength. Why not do such a good thing? Brother Li Xian, I also want to take the exam for the Huhai War Academy. The 2 of us together. take the first and second place in the Huhai War University examination. After reaching a consensus, Li Xian and Nkiki are together. Just look for a hotel in Huhai City. There are still 2 days before the exam at the Huhai War Academy. You have to find a place to settle down temporarily. 2 days later, on the square of the Huhai War School, a temporary high platform stands here. In front of this high platform, a large number of them are densely gathered. Just turned 18. Students graduating from the 3rd year of high school. And a lot of it. I heard about the admissions exam for the Huhai War Academy. I came here specially to watch the lively ordinary people in Huhai City. Students, welcome to come participate in the admissions examination of our Lake Sea Warfare Academy. On the high platform, Wang Dongli, the person in charge of the admissions examination for the Huhai War College. Rely on props that transmit sound to all students present who took the exam. And the people watching the excitement on the periphery shouted, "Our Lake Sea Warfare Academy is a." After a long meal. After the self-introduction to the Huhai War Academy, Wang Dongli finally started the topic. Now, I am now announcing the content of this admissions exam. During the conversation, Wang Dongli waved his hand. Om, accompanied by a burst of strange sounds sounded. A blue vortex about 10 meters high and 5 meters wide appeared in front of the high platform. This is one that will increase with the professional level. A single phantom dungeon that changes the level of the dungeon. Our entrance exam this time. It is to enter this copy and clear this copy. As long as you can successfully clear the copy, you just passed our admissions exam and you can enter our Huhai University. In addition, the ranking of this freshman exam. It's also arranged according to the copy clearance time. If you want to get the ranking rewards promised by our school, then clear this dungeon as quickly as you can. After the introduction of these rules, Wang Dongli paused for a moment and then said, "The phantom copy can only enter 1,000 professionals at a time. Those who want to participate in the exam, enter the copy now. Let's start your exam." Under Wang Dongli's call, all students who want to participate in the admissions of the Lake Sea War Academy, they flocked to the phantom copy one after another. With the influx of students taking exams in large numbers, the phantom copy that only has a quota of 1,000 people. All places will be filled up soon. The remaining students who did not enter the copy, you can only stand there and wait for the next batch of opportunities to enter. Li Xian and Nkiki. Because it is arranged in the latter half of the candidate team. So I am also working with other candidates around me. Continue to wait for the quota to enter the copy later. Time passed by every minute and every second. In the waiting of all the people in the audience. The huge blue vortex suddenly spun. A test was squeezed out from the copy. Immediately afterwards, the examinee's profile picture and the words, "Pass failed," appeared above the blue swirl. Failed so quickly. Isn't this guy too useless? Too fast. How long has it been? Other people waiting in line and watching the excitement behind. They all started talking about the candidate. It made the examinee feel irrelevant and ashamed. But soon, his emotions disappeared, because it took only a few seconds for him to be pushed out. Buzz. The blue vortex began to spin continuously. Candidates one after another, with the continuous rotation of the blue vortex, squeezed out by that phantom copy. It's just a matter of 10 seconds. There are hundreds of candidates eliminated because of the failure of customs clearance, and was squeezed out of the phantom copy. And the number of candidates who were eliminated still over time, and keep increasing. It's only been a while. How did you eliminate so many people? Isn't the difficulty of this dungeon a bit too high? I recognize that person. He is a second-generation professional, 970. He has a whole set of rare equipment on him. Has this been eliminated? With such a high level of difficulty in the dungeon, can anyone really pass the level? Shouldn't the Lake Sea Warfare Academy plan to not enroll students this year? As more and more people were eliminated due to customs clearance failures. Those clearances failed, and candidates who have not yet entered the copy. Even the common people watching the excitement behind. Everyone started talking. I think the difficulty of this phantom copy is too high. Not at all ready for people to pass through. But in the discussion of everyone present, that giant blue vortex, turn again. and lit a burst of white light. Subsequently, a portrait of a student, shown against a background of white light. Immediately afterwards, some simple dungeon clearance information also popped up next to this avatar. The customs clearance is successful, and the clearance time is 9 minutes and 57 seconds. The appearance of this candidate who successfully passed the customs. In an instant, all the candidates and audience in the audience were quiet. And taking advantage of this time when everyone is quiet. On the high platform, Wang Dongli, who is the host of this admissions examination, very keen to seize this opportunity. Let's congratulate this candidate, be one of the candidates in this round. The first examinee to pass the level, and the one who cleared it within 10 minutes. Now, invite the first examinee to complete the customs clearance. Climb to the ranking throne behind me. Sit on the throne of number 1. Don't worry about other candidates who haven't passed the customs. 3 days later, we will hold another admissions exam with a lower difficulty. Candidates who want to enter the Lake Sea Warfare Academy, you can come back for another test in 3 days. That's all. Wang Dongli waved his hand. A huge. There are 10 throne platforms with different heights due to different rankings. In the roar of rumbling, rising slowly from the open space behind Wang Dongli's high platform, there's still such a thing. Amazing. To be able to ascend to these thrones is to become famous in one fell swoop, right? This trick is brilliant. Under the high platform, all the candidates and the audience were in an uproar. And the examinee who guarded the dungeon. It is also under the guidance of the staff of the Lake and Sea War Academy. Slowly boarded the throne representing the number 1. Sit down on it. Enjoy the attention of everyone in the audience. After the first candidate who successfully cleared the dungeon appeared. Although the dungeon is still constantly eliminating candidates who failed to pass the level. But it is no longer just a simple elimination. Instead, others appeared one after another. Candidates who have successfully passed the dungeon. These successfully passed the dungeon candidates. Soon all the top 10 thrones were occupied. But they didn't sit in the top 10 for long. After the first batch of candidates have all finished the exam, the second batch of candidates who entered the dungeon. New ones soon appeared, too. Candidates who passed the copy in a faster time. And after the second batch. And the third batch, the fourth batch. After 3 or 4 hours in a row, more than a dozen batches of candidates continued to enter. Candidates sitting on the first throne. The candidate who has already started from the very beginning. It was replaced by a student who successfully cleared the level in just 9 minutes and 13 seconds. And the second place is not the first candidate. It was another examinee who passed the level in 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Even the third place reached 9 minutes and 42 seconds. His time of 9 minutes and 57 seconds can only be placed in the fourth place. Brother Li Xian, how long do you think we can pass the level? Looking at the team of less than 100 people in front of him, knowing that the next batch of them will enter the encore, couldn't help but move closer to Li Xian's side. Talked to Li Xian. Li Xian smiled. It's hard to say how long it will take to clear the customs. But we're sure to be faster than these guys up there now. And Kiki nodded in approval. I feel the same way. They can all clear the level in about 9 minutes. It's our words. I estimate that it may take 5 minutes, or even 3 minutes to clear the level. PFF'd. Encore just finished speaking. A candidate was photographed behind Li Xian and Nkiki. I couldn't help laughing out loud. 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Do you know the occupation of the first one? That's a super special level professional. It's not much different from the average brave level professional. 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Are you all top level brave level professionals? Top brave professional. Li Xian and Nkiki looked at each other and smiled. Although they are not top level brave level professionals, but under the blessing of magic armor. But it is better than the top brave professional of the same level. Not much more powerful, if it weren't for not knowing the situation in the copy. Nkiki and Li Xian. It is even possible to clear the copy within 1 minute. Certainly, these things, Li Xian and Nkiki. Those candidates will not talk about it later. Anyway, they will be the next batch of exams. Wait until the exam is over. The facts will naturally explain everything to the unknown candidate. But Li Xian and Nkiki didn't plan to say anything to him. But the candidate was not prepared. Just let Li Xian and Ankaki go. I'm not talking about you, when you were blowing. Oh, the examinee had just finished speaking halfway. Wang Dongli's exaggerated voice suddenly sounded. 8 minutes and 33 seconds. The first breakthrough in 9 minutes. The examinee who entered the 8 minutes appeared. Let us welcome this candidate. With an unbeatable score of 8 minutes and 33 minutes. Become number 1 in the new admissions test. In Wang Dongli's cry. Countless people started talking and cheering. Amazing. Cleared the level in 8.5 minutes. This guy must be number 1 in this admissions exam. Steady. 8.5 minutes, definitely sitting first, no one can surpass him. Clear the level in 8.5 minutes, isn't this guy a brave professional? If it's really a brave professional, then the Huhai Warfare Institute probably has a chance to hit the first-class war school this time. Everyone present, whether it is the candidates or the onlookers behind, all focus on this one. On the examinee who cleared the copy in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Everyone is talking. The examinee who passed the test in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Is his occupation a hero-level occupation? Even the examinee who mocked Li Xian and Nkiki before. Neither of them paid any more attention to Li Xian. Instead, with other candidates. Talk about the new first candidate. The entrance to the phantom copy. Looking at myself, it only took 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Successfully cleared the copy of the results. Zhao Chengkong was very proud. Professionals at the brave level are the strongest. The 8 minutes that those special level professionals can't reach. I can reach it easily. And directly improve the score by more than half a minute. In a backward province like the Lake and Sea province. Surely no one can beat my grades. This first prize is mine. With these rewards, my strength can go further. The entrance exam for the Great Sha First War Academy in 3 days' time. I have a greater chance of getting a good ranking in the exam. Same with Li Xian and Encore. Zhao Chengkong came to take the exam at the Huhai War Academy. Nor is it for the purpose of entering the Huhai Warfare Academy. Instead, they also hold the mentality of pulling wool. Come here to benefit from the Lake Sea Warfare Academy. As for whether he can reap the benefits of the first place. Zhao Chengkong scored 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Let countless people discuss for a long time. And in their discussions, candidates in the same batch as Zhao Chengkong. Also in the passage of time. All came out of the copy. Then, 0. Candidates lined up in front of Li Xian and Nkiki. Start entering the copies one by one. After a while, Li Xian and Nkiki were lined up in more than 100 people. Also came to the front of the dungeon entrance. Don't have any reservations, clear the copy as quickly as possible. The better the score of customs clearance, the better the effect of venting. Do you understand? After entering the copy, Li Xian gave Encore a last word of advice. Anka nodded. After walking into the copy before Li Xian. And after Encore entered the copy, Li Xian also followed Encore closely. Into the copy. After a strange sense of weightlessness, Li Xian found himself in a dungeon-style dungeon room. Is this the so-called phantom copy? Li Xian observed the environment in the dungeon room. Prepare for yourself to pass the copy as quickly as possible. While Li Xian was observing, the notification sound of the dungeon also sounded. Welcome to this phantom dungeon. This dungeon will change the dungeon level according to your level. And all equipment above the normal level will be restricted. Hint, due to your level, this dungeon is changed to a level 15 single-player dungeon. Tip 2. In this dungeon, all normal level and above level weapons and equipment will be sent back to the professional space and cannot be taken out. Tip 3. This dungeon has 4 dungeon rooms. After killing the boss in the 3rd room, you can clear this dungeon. Prompt 4. The copy will be officially opened in 10 seconds. 10. Look at these system prompts in front of you. Li Xian finally understood why those second-generation workers and second-generation rich who had a full set of rare equipment. You will not be able to pass this copy. Weapons and equipment above the normal level cannot be used. Isn't that equivalent to directly removing all their weapons and equipment? All equipment has been removed. It is only natural that you will fail to pass the level. Thoughts were surging in Li Xian's mind. The countdown to the dungeon reminder. Finally came the last 3 seconds. 3.2.1. Copy starts. the moment the dungeon notification sounded. In the dungeon room where Li Xian is. Immediately, a dozen monsters appeared. It's finally started, with the fastest speed. Clear this copy. While these monsters appeared, Li Xian's own magical armor also appeared on his body. And magic grenade guns specially used for range damage. Ow. Well, the next second the weapons and equipment appeared on Li Xian's body. The dozen or so monsters all ran towards Li Xian. And Li Xian raised the magic grenade gun in his hand. Pull the trigger on those monsters. Boom. Horrific explosions and raging flames swept across the entire room in an instant. All monsters are instantly killed. And Li Xian, who was protected by magic armor, it is unscathed, burst through the door leading to the next dungeon room. 2.8. Then, in this second dungeon room, Li Xian is also a shot. Boom. In the explosion and roar, all monsters in the second room are dead. Then, Li Xian continued to rush to the third room. Fired the third shot. Boom. The monster in the third room was also instantly killed. Li Xian didn't stop at his feet either. Continued to rush into the fourth room. That is, in the last boss room. For the boss in this room, Li Xian gives it the respect it deserves. 3 grenades were fired in a row. Boom, boom, boom. No doubt, under the explosion of 3 grenades. In this boss room, no matter those ordinary mobs, still a powerful boss-level monster, all died in the explosion. Only Li Xian was left standing alone in the room. And after Li Xian successfully killed them, the reminder of the dungeon also sounded again. Congratulations, you have successfully cleared this dungeon. Your clearance time in this dungeon is 9 seconds. 9 seconds. It only took 9 seconds. Li Xian succeeded. Cleared this copy. That's 9 seconds. I just cleared this copy. Isn't that a little too much? Will it be suspected of cheating by those outside? Take back your weapons and equipment. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. Although he was talking about whether he would be suspected of cheating. But Li Xian didn't have any worries about this in his heart. Just stand where you are, waiting for the copy to leave after customs clearance. While Li Xian was waiting, the outside world of the copy, on the square of the Huhai War College. With the entry of the last candidate, the entrance to the fantasy dungeon is automatically closed. Do not continue to accommodate more people into it. Candidates queuing up behind and the audience further behind. It was against Zhao Changkong, who is currently ranked number 1. The discussion continued, but before they had a few words to discuss. Buzzing. The dungeon entrance gate that had just closed itself for less than 10 seconds. It started spinning slowly. The copy entrance is rotating. Is this someone who cleared the level or was eliminated? This dungeon is closed, and it only takes a blink of an eye to officially start. How could it be a customs clearance? It must have been eliminated. I was eliminated as soon as I entered, so this candidate has broken the worst record, right? Happy, this eliminated guy, shouldn't he be a professional in the life department? The situation where the copy entry occurs. It immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. The eyes of everyone in the audience, all concentrated on the copy entrance. But what everyone didn't think of was, after some rotation, above the entrance of the copy, 20 turned out to be a burst of white light. Immediately afterwards, Li Xian's avatar and the words, successfully cleared. Together they appeared above the entrance of the copy. And, came along with these, there is another line. The clearance time is 9 seconds. Look at the information presented above the dungeon entrance. Nuoda's square fell silent in an instant. But the silence didn't last long. It's just less than a second. Everyone present is all excited. 9 seconds. 9 seconds to clear the level. 9 seconds. What's the situation? Is there something wrong with the dungeon? Isn't this too fake? This guy named Li Xian is cheating, right? It's too fake. It must be that Huhai Academy didn't want to admit it, and specially found someone to cheat. Faced with a customs clearance time that exceeded everyone's expectations. Some people think Li Xian cheated. Some people think that Li Xian is a trustee hired by Huhai Academy. Only no one thinks Li Xian really cleared the instance. But it is completely different from those candidates and audience in the square. Wang Dongli on the high platform was excited. As the person in charge of this admissions examination, Is there any problem with this dungeon, and has Huhai War School asked for help? Of course he knows it all. All cheating and entrusting are all non-existent things. Only this candidate named Li Xian. Clearing the instance in 9 seconds is real. So, when everyone in the audience is questioning Wang Dongli's first reaction, instead, he ran towards the entrance of the copy. I want to negotiate terms with Li Xian in person. Leave Li Xian behind. Let Li Xian join the Huhai War Academy. Become a student of the Lake Sea War Academy. But he just stepped off the high platform. He hasn't reached Li Xian's side yet. Buzz. The huge copy entrance is spinning again. Immediately afterwards, a white light flashed. Encore's head portrait is also rendered. And it appeared with her avatar. There is also the customs clearance information of the copy of Encore. The customs clearance is successful, and the clearance time is 26 seconds. Wow, an Enkoko with a successful customs clearance. Let all the candidates and audience on this square. It boiled again. The last one was 9 seconds, and this one is 26 seconds. Isn't this too obvious? Is it really like pretending? Absolutely. Are all the people in Huhai Academy brain dead? Can they do this kind of thing? Huhai Academy is really not a human being. Isn't this clearly treating us as fools? Watching this as another candidate who cleared the level in 26 seconds appeared. Listening to those excited candidates and audience criticizing each other. It was not easy to come to Wang Dongli near the entrance of the dungeon. I started to doubt myself. Did I really ask for support before, but I just forgot. Wang Dongli racked his brains to recall. But no matter how he thinks about it, I can't even think of when I did this. Instead, I remembered. This phantom dungeon is a dungeon pulled from the Great Sha King City. There is no possibility of cheating at all. These two people are descendants of King Daxia. But if it is really a descendant of King Daxia. As for them running to the rear area like Lake and Sea Province. Come to take their exams at the Lake and Sea War Academy. So, I have found a treasure in Huhai Academy. Did you attract 2 monster-level geniuses? Wang Dongli felt ecstatic in his heart. He directly ignored the excited candidates and audience. Looking at Li Xian and Enkiki, they said, 2 classmates. Wang Dongli was just halfway through his words. A voice suddenly interrupted him. I don't recognize their grades. Throne platform on top of the throne of the first place. Zhao Chengkong is a brave professional. Received equipment to amplify the volume from the staff. To all candidates and audiences. And Wang Dongli, who is the organizer of this admissions examination, said. My job is a hero class sword hero job. Even me, after trying my best. I can only get 8 minutes and 33 seconds. The two of them, why only take 9 seconds and 26 seconds? Can you successfully clear this copy? Zhao Chengkong's words. Successfully aroused the resonance of all candidates and audience present. Well said. 9 seconds, 26 seconds, are you making us fools? That's right. We absolutely do not recognize black box operations. Good job. Don't encourage this evil spirit. Under Zhao Chengkong's guidance. All candidates and audience present participated in it. Boycott Li Xian and Encore. Not good. It shouldn't give them a bad impression of us. Leave Huhai Academy directly. This matter must be properly resolved. Only in this way can they stay in our school. In order to avoid Li Xian and Enkiki. Do not join the Huhai War Academy. Wang Dongli had to stand up and said. Everyone, please listen to me. This phantom copy was allocated to our school by the government just this year. Today is the first time 247 is turned on in this dungeon. There is absolutely no possibility of cheating. Also, these 2 candidates are not the best of our school. It's the first time I've met them. They are just ordinary candidates. Wang Dongli's statement. It didn't quiet the candidates and audience at the scene. Instead, it drew a lot of scolding. Bah, you think we'll believe you? Liar, who would believe it? The top brave class occupations are not so powerful. Among the scolding voices of countless candidates and the audience. Zhao Chengkong on the first throne. He spoke again and said. For these copies of the official new research, I know some too. It is said that it is for the convenience of various universities to conduct tests. It's among the copies that are officially allocated to schools like this. All are equipped with mono recorders, with the function of automatic recording. Since you said that they did not cheat, you are not trusting of Huhai Academy. Then publish their dungeon clearance video. Zhao Chengkong's words. Once again, it aroused the response of the candidates and the audience. That's right, release the customs clearance video. We want to watch the video. Whether it's true or not, you'll know as soon as the video is played. Do you dare to play the video? All candidates and audience present. They all yelled. Request to release the customs clearance video of Li Xian and Nkiki. Make their copy of customs clearance video public. Facing the shouts of all the candidates and audience on the entire square. There are some Wang Dongli who can't get off the tiger. The look on his face is so ugly. So many people are watching here today. If you can't handle this matter well, the word of mouth of the Huhai War School. It will all be lost within one day today. It became a joke of the entire Lake and Sea province and even the entire Great Shah. And himself, also because of today's events. Get the hell out of Huhai Academy. So, whether it's for Huhai Academy, or for his own future, the customs clearance video of Li Xian and Nkiki is released. These are the best choices right now. Wang Dongli looked at Li Xian and Nkiki. A video of the customs clearance copy. For most professionals, it's all about privacy. After all, many abilities will be shown in the customs clearance video of the dungeon. These two monsters are incomparable geniuses. Will you be willing to expose your professional privacy to so many people? As long as you think about it casually, you will know. They will definitely not be willing to release the video. He would rather abandon the reputation of Huhai Academy. Do you want to throw an olive branch to these two monstrous geniuses? Or give up these two geniuses to restore the reputation of Huhai Academy? After hesitating for a moment, Wang Dongli has made a decision. Don't worry, as long as you don't agree. Our school will never release your dungeon customs clearance video. Wang Dongli asked Li Xian and Nkiki. Made my own promise. In front of the reputation of Huhai Academy and two enchanting professionals. He chose Li Xian and Nkiki. But Li Xian did not accept the favor from Wang Dongli. He and Encore came over to take the exam. It's just for the first and second place rewards. I didn't want to join the Huhai War Academy at all. If it is the favor owed here to Huhai Academy, then do you have the nerve to leave Huhai Academy? It's a stupid thing to grab a wool and put yourself in it. Li Xian can't do it. So, after Wang Dongli made a promise to himself, Li Xian said directly, actually, we don't mind. Release our dungeon clearance video. The facts will prove to everyone here. We are simply relying on our own strength to clear the copy. Li Xian's voice fell, and Kiki next to him immediately went on to say, that's right, we didn't cheat, it's not a lie. We are under fair and equitable conditions. Clear the copy with your own strength. Willing to make the customs clearance video public. The words of Li Xian and Encore. Wang Dongli was astonished. These two monster-level geniuses. Don't you mind at all? Is your professional information known to others? But soon, seeing Encore with an angry face, Wang Dongli also figured it out. No matter how evil these two geniuses are. After all, he's just a boy who just turned 18. Compared to some professional information, what they care more about is face and proving themselves. After figuring it out, Wang Dongli heaved a sigh of relief. Then immediately responded to all the candidates and audience present. Our Huhai War School is open and above board. Absolutely no shady and black box operations. Since you don't believe this, then we will release the dungeon clearance videos of the two candidates. Return my Huhai Academy's innocence. And return the innocence of those two talented candidates. Once Wang Dongli's announcement was issued, all the candidates and audience present fell silent. Wang Dongli also took advantage of this time. Pull out the attribute panel of the copy entrance. A series of operations were performed on the copy entry. After a while, a freeze frame picture of Li Xian standing in the room of the first instance was projected into the sky for everyone present to see. This video is 9 seconds long. The clearance video of the genius who cleared the dungeon. Everyone is watching, because the customs clearance video is only 9 seconds. So before the video starts playing, Wang Dongli also made a special request. And under Wang Dongli's instructions, all candidates and audience present They also all focus their attention on the video in the sky every day. I'd like to see what kind of ability he has. He can clear the dungeon in seconds. Whether there is cheating or not, you will know at a glance. Everyone pay attention, don't let them get away with it. Under the gaze of everyone in the square, Wang Dongli tapped the property panel lightly. Video projection in the sky. Then it started playing. First second of recording, more than a dozen monsters appeared in front of Li Xian together. The magic armor and the magic grenade gun also appeared on Li Xian's body. Second, the grenade gun in Li Xian's hand was fired. A terrifying explosion instantly swept across the entire dungeon room. Kill all monsters in seconds. The third second, Li Xian walked through the door leading to the next room. Entered the second dungeon room. Fourth second, enter Li Xian in the second dungeon room. Another shot was fired. Kill all the monsters in the field with a terrifying explosion. Fifth second, Li Xian entered the third dungeon room. Once again, instantly kill the monsters in the entire room. 6 seconds, Li Xian came to the final fourth dungeon room. 7th second, Li Xian came to the boss room. Li Xian fired 3 grenades. 8th second, all monsters including boss are dead. 9 seconds, a dungeon clearance prompt appears. Li Xian successfully cleared the dungeon. So far, the recording of Li Xian's clearance copy is over. And in the next second after the end of this customs clearance video, all the candidates and the audience are boiling again. I'm so angry. Is this a weapon effect or a skill effect? Why is it so powerful? Isn't this too perverted? A monster of the same level can be instantly killed with a single attack. It's scary. Top-level brave level professionals aren't that powerful, are they? Wang Dehao. There is really someone who can clear the dungeon in 9 seconds. Is this realistic? This is so unreal. I feel like I'm dreaming. The same professionals, why is there such a big gap between people? A video that clearly shows everything. To all candidates and spectators. All at the same time. Turned their minds around Li Xian and Enkiki. They no longer see Li Xian and Enkiki as cheaters. Not to mention Li Xian and Enkiki. Think of it as an entrustment invited by Huhai Academy. After all, with the power that Li Xian showed in the video. Even if it's true, that's already quite convincing. Chapter 64. Just 9 seconds of video. Successfully conquered all the candidates and audience present. No one thinks anymore. Li Xian cheated with Encore. Also no one thinks. Li Xian and Enkiki. It was the entrustment invited by Huhai Academy. This made Wang Dongli breathe a sigh of relief. At the same time, I couldn't help but be amazed. As expected of a monster-level genius. Just random attacks. You can instantly kill monsters of the same level. And this kind of attack is still a range attack. Wang Dongli didn't know what kind of weapon Li Xian was holding. But as a professional, Wang Dongli can still tell the level of the weapon. Judging from the picture in the video, Li Xian's strange weapon is just an ordinary weapon. But according to common sense, it is impossible for ordinary level weapons to have such great power. So the only explanation is that strange weapon. It is a class weapon that matches Li Xian's class. It is precisely because of the above reasons. The weight of Li Xian and Enkiki. It became heavy in Wang Dongli's heart. Whatever the cost. Let these two monstrous geniuses stay behind. As long as they can join Huhai Academy. Huhai Academy will definitely become a top-level institution in the future. It may even be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the first school. Wang Dongli's heart was extremely hot. But he didn't go directly to negotiate terms with Li Xian. Instead, continued to operate at the entrance of the copy for a while. Record the customs clearance of Enkoko. Also selected to play. In Encore's customs clearance video. Encore's style is completely different from Li Xian's. Li Xian easily killed the audience in seconds, and then easily cleared the dungeon. The performance of the whole process is unfathomable. No one knows how powerful Li Xian is. All I know is that Li Xian is amazing. And Encore's performance in the video. Then it is simple, violent and direct style. In the video, Encore wrapped in magic armor. Holding a handle in his hand. A rocket-powered hammer bigger than herself reference image. She didn't use any fancy skills. Just simply swinging the heavy hammer. Just one monster after another. All exploded into blood mist. From the mobs in the first room. Go to the boss in the last room. Not a single monster. Survive the hammer of the encore. Hiss. This looks like a small and cute girl, why is her fighting style so violent? He killed the dungeon boss with one hammer. This is too powerful. Monster. Whether it's the person just now or the girl now, both of them are monsters. Just now, CABD, I questioned them like this, wouldn't this girl come over and give me a hammer? Encore's customs clearance video is over. The hearts of all candidates and audiences. All a chill. It seems to see myself being blown away by an encore hammer. But in such emotions, Wang Dongli, who finished playing the customs clearance video, continued to speak. Guys, as you can see on video, their customs clearance process is very normal. It's completely a copy of relying on your own strength to pass the level. They didn't cheat. It's not the entrustment that our Huhai Academy invited. Our Huhai Academy has not conducted any black box operations. So, this number 1 and number 2 ranking. It's the two candidates who just cleared the dungeon. Do you have any disagreements? Wang Dongli was elated. Announcing Li Xian and Encore. Be the new number 1 and number 2 thing. And Wang Dongli's announcement this time. There was no objection from any candidate or audience. But right now, Zhao Chengkong was on the first throne. But stood up again. I disagree. Moment. The eyes of all the candidates and the audience in the audience. Once again, the focus is on Zhao Chengkong. Wang Dongli frowned slightly. A little displeased, he asked Zhao Chengkong. This examinee. I can understand that you are a brave professional. But still unwilling to be taken away from the first place. However, these two candidates have released their customs clearance videos to everyone. They are indeed dungeons that rely on strength to pass the level. Isn't that a little too much for you? Before that, Zhao Chengkong drove the emotions of the candidates and the audience. It almost brought him a big trouble. Wang Dongli has not forgotten. Now this Zhao Chengkong popped out again to act as a demon. Wang Dongli seized this opportunity immediately. He began to accuse Zhao Chengkong with righteous words. Those who have the same idea as Wang Dongli. There are also candidates and audiences who were driven by him before. There was a change in the way they looked at Zhao Chengkong. No longer treat Zhao Chengkong as one. Those who dare to face injustice and say no to black box operations. Instead, treat him as a villain who can't afford to lose. But Zhao Chengkong didn't care about these things. He knew that doing so would make him despised. I also know that this will be hated by everyone present. But as long as you can get the talent enhancement stone rewarded by the first candidate, it's all worth it. Compared to other brave class occupations, my talent is slightly worse. The talent enhancement stone rewarded by the first place. Just enough to make up for this shortcoming of mine. As long as I can get it, use it to enhance my talents, I will definitely be able to pass the first school exam. With a high ranking, enter the first school. Since then, I have made great progress and become one of the top professionals. For my future and my future. Even if you lose some reputation here now. No big deal either. Zhao Chengkong strengthened his heart. Ignore all the eyes looking at him. Pointing at Li Xian cheekily, he said. I admit that he is very strong. But I think, his strength. Only by virtue of his strange weapon. If you give me that weapon, I can easily do that too. If he dares not to use that strange weapon, only use ordinary weapons, come and compete with me. And beat me in the sparring match. I will admit that he is the number 1 this time. Do you dare to accept my challenge? Zhao Chengkong looked at Li Xian provocatively. His provocation to Li Xian was not blind. It was a decision made after careful consideration. Compete for the first place in the way of competition. Can hold his reputation to the greatest extent. It won't make him a villain that everyone can't afford to lose. It might even allow him to get some benefits out of it. At the same time, judging from Li Xian's performance in the clearance video, Zhao Chengkong didn't think he could defeat Li Xian. But he has the same opinion of Li Xian as Wang Dongli. It is believed that the weapon in Li Xian's hand is a professional weapon. Only when using this weapon, in order to maximize your own strength. Without the use of such weapons, Li Xian's strength will be greatly weakened. So he deliberately set a trap for Li Xian, on the condition that Li Xian does not use that weapon. Let's try. He didn't believe that Li Xian didn't use professional weapons. He can also win him, a brave level professional who uses professional weapons. As long as Li Xian falls into his trap, agree to his sparring challenge, he can keep his #1 ranking, chance to get the talent enhancement stone. And if Li Xian refuses, then he can. Li Xian just relied on the saying that the weapon is powerful as a step. Restore all the reputation that I lost before. Zhao Chengkong's plan is very simple, not brilliant. Many candidates and spectators in the square. Many people could see Zhao Chengkong's thoughts at a glance. But those who saw through Zhao Chengkong's thoughts. But he didn't say that. It's not that I'm worried that Zhao Chengkong will be offended by this. But because Zhao Chengkong's occupation is a sword hero of the hero level. It's because of Li Xian's strength shown in the video. Most likely, even in the brave class profession. All at the top of the top brave professional. A brave professional. Fight with a top brave professional. This is a grand event that has never happened in a place like Huhai province. In the rear provinces like Huhai city, where there are no powerful professionals interested. Brave level professionals are even rarer than giant pandas. Not to mention seeing the battle scenes of brave level professionals. It is really rare to even see a brave class occupation. And now, not only did I see brave level professionals, I saw a professional who might be a top level hero. You can also see these two brave level professionals engage in battles in public. It's too late for them to look forward to it. How could he break Zhao Chengkong's thoughts? After all, there is no one watching the fun. I will dislike myself for watching too much excitement. I can only dislike that this excitement is not enough. In short, based on the above reasons, the eyes of these candidates and the audience all turn to Li Xian. The pressure is on Li Xian's side again. Brother Li Xian, this guy is too disgusting. We accept his challenge and beat him up hard. Encore was furious. Speak your thoughts to Li Xian. There was a smile on Li Xian's face. Everyone else saw through Zhao Chengkong's little thought. Naturally, Li Xian couldn't see through. But, although he has already seen through the other party's intentions. But Li Xian didn't take it seriously. And the reason is very simple. Even if you don't use the magic grenade gun when you don't use the customs clearance copy, Li Xian can easily beat Zhao Chengkong too. Regardless of using weapons other than the magic grenade gun. Still don't use weapons. Just wearing a set of magic armor to go up. Li Xian is confident enough to beat Zhao Chengkong easily. Even if it doesn't rely on magic armor. Li Xian is also sure about the attribute value. Form a crush on Zhao Chengkong. Do not forget. When exploring the shelter before, those elixirs refined by Li Xian. The total value of attributes provided to Li Xian is as high as 350 points. Attributes, equipment, weapons. Li Xian can completely crush Zhao Chengkong. In Li Xian's view, Zhao Chengkong is nothing more than a clown. But, although it's just a clown, but it just kept jumping around. Still annoying. So, here it is today. Teach him an unforgettable lesson. Li Xian is going to teach Zhao Chengkong a little lesson. He looked at Wang Dongli next to him. He said with a smile. Help me respond to this sword hero. Tell him I accept his challenge. Wang Dongli looked at Li Xian in astonishment. His request is to keep you from using professional weapons. Fight him with normal weapons only. This fight is not fair to you. Here Li Xian accept the challenge. Wang Dongli thought wrongly. Li Xian did not see through Zhao Chengkong's plan. So I specifically brought this up. And Li Xian simply said 3 words. I know, no or agree. Wang Dongli was taken aback for a moment. Then quickly reacted. This genius candidate, be confident without using professional weapons. He can also defeat that professional sword hero. His profession of bravery, is it really the top-level brave class profession? After such a thought flashed by, Li Xian holds a lot of weight in Wang Dongli's heart. It's getting heavier. He nodded seriously to Li Xian. Then Representative Li Xian said, this genius candidate next to me, willing to accept this unfair challenge. He wants to use his strength. I'll convince you. Hand over the first place in this exam. Wow. As soon as Wang Dongli's response was sent out, all candidates and audience in the entire square. Once again it boiled over. 2 brave professionals compete. Today's trip is worth it. I've never seen the power of a hero-level professional. I didn't expect to see it today. Amazing. This is the best melon I've had in years. Under the expectation of all candidates and audiences at the scene. Wang Dongli and the staff of Huhai Academy on the scene. A temporary renovation was hurriedly started. It will be the high platform where Wang Dongli hosted the exam before. The renovation started in the direction of the temporary arena. HZE. Wang Dongli's high platform was successful. Transformed into a temporary arena. Subsequently, among the cheers of countless candidates and the audience, Li Xian and Zhao Chengkong step onto this temporary arena one after another. The two stood facing each other. Get out your weapons. I will tell you with my strength. After leaving your powerful weapon, my strength is stronger than yours. Zhao Chengkong, standing opposite Li Xian, issued a challenge to Li Xian, and while provoking Li Xian, and put his own weapons, a complete set of rare armor, and a treasure-level long sword, all manifested. And after Zhao Chengkong showed the weapon, Li Xian's thoughts moved slightly. Next moment, the attributes are even more perverted than legendary weapons. But it only has ordinary quality magic armor. Appeared on Li Xian's body. One side is a full set of rare equipment, plus a treasure-level weapon. The other side, then it's just a set of ordinary equipment. This is an obvious comparison of the incomparable gap. Let's get everyone's point of view then. They all turned towards Zhao Chengkong. A full set of rare and treasure weapons, a full set of common equipment, no weapons yet, Maybe this sword hero will win. The equipment gap between the two sides is too big. Even if it is a top-level hero class, it is difficult to win. People around are talking about it. Zhao Chengkong saw an opportunity. It seems to have left professional weapons. He has no normal weapon to fight me. I will win this battle. The reward for the first place is also mine. Zhao Chengkong thought he had seized the opportunity. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. Next moment, roar, a loud roar sounded. The long sword in Zhao Chengkong's hand turned into a ferocious and terrifying Western dragon, roaring and attacking Li Xian. One of the skills of the sword hero. Dragon Slash. Li Xian covered in magic armor. A disdainful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. This skill is very lethal. It is the signature skill of the sword hero profession. An ordinary defense professional of the same level. After receiving such a sword, he has basically reached the dead blood line. Even if it is a special defense professional of the same level, it is also difficult to withstand 3 dragon slashes. The person standing in front of him now. It's Li Xian. It's just an attack from a sword hero around level 10. Li Xian disagrees. No countermeasures were taken against this attack. Just raise your hand. Raised his little thumb. Stand in front of Zhao Chengkong's attack path. Clang. The ferocious dragon is biting on Li Xian's little finger wrapped in magic armor. Zhao Chengkong's long sword could no longer advance an inch. And Li Xian, it is unscathed. No harm was done. Li Xian, just use a little finger. It blocked the signature skills of the sword hero profession. Fian Cao Cao 4. With just one little finger, I blocked the sword hero's dragon slash. Hiss. Isn't this guy too perverted? Could it be that he's already crushed by levels? Is there such a big gap between top-level brave level professionals and ordinary brave level professionals? Horror. It's too scary. This shit is too exaggerated. On the big square, all the candidates and the audience are excited. Except for one after another exclamation. They can't figure out what to use to express the shock in my heart. This is impossible. The emotions in the hearts of the surrounding examinees and audience were shock. Attacking Li Xian's Zhao Chengkong with Dragon Slash. My heart is full of disbelief. I couldn't believe what I saw with my own eyes. Even if it's a top-level brave professional at the same level as me. It can't be that easy. Take the sword hero's signature skill Dragon Slash. This guy, how the hell did he do it? No matter what, Zhao Chengkong couldn't believe his own eyes. Suddenly a thought flashed through my mind. I see. It's a skill. This move must be the strongest defensive skill in his profession. He wanted to get through that. To break down my fighting confidence. Thus allowing me to retreat without a fight. After finding a suitable reason and excuse. Zhao Chengkong immediately discarded the shock and fear in his heart. He continued to stare at Li Xian aggressively. Shouted to Li Xian. I've seen through your scheme. I, 907, will not be defeated by such a crude scheme as yours. Give up. In a low voice, the treasure-level long sword in Zhao Chengkong's hand. It turned into a ferocious and terrifying dragon again. Attack on Li Xian for the second time. Clang. The crisp sound of gold and iron clashing sounded again. Facing Zhao Chengkong's second dragon slash, Li Xian just swiped lightly with his little finger. It bounced back Zhao Chengkong's full blow. This is impossible. It must be because the skill duration is still there. Just keep attacking. I will definitely be able to defeat this guy. Zhao Chengkong still didn't believe it. The strength gap between himself and Li Xian. Once again, he waved the treasure-level long sword in his hand. Use various skills. Sword after sword attacked Li Xian, trying to break through the defense of Li Xian's skill. Try this to delay until the duration of Li Xian's ability expires. B. Li Xian's strong defense ability. Is it really because of the use of skills? It is clear, not at all. Not only did Li Xian not use skills, it didn't even make the magic armor enter the combat state. It's just to fight Zhao Chengkong in the state of daily activities. And in the state of daily activities, the duration of the magic armor is infinitely long. So, Zhao Chengkong attacked every time he didn't believe in evil. They were all easily blocked and bounced off by Li Xian with his little finger. Even Zhao Chengkong exhausted all his strength, still unable to break through Li Xian's defense. Can't hurt Li Xian even more. The gap is too big. Although they are both brave class occupations, the gap between the two is really too big. I lost. The comparison of their strengths is too obvious. This sword hero can't win against another brave professional. It is also a brave class profession. How can this gap in strength be bigger than the gap between ordinary professions and brave professions? It turns out that the top brave profession is so powerful. I have learned a lot. Today I have gained a lot of experience. There is an extremely unequal strength gap between Li Xian and Zhao Chengkong. Nature is taken for granted. It aroused discussions among the candidates and audience around. And what they said about Zhao Chengkong and Li Xian. Also like a sharp knife. One knife after another pierced through Zhao Chengkong's body. Stabbed fiercely on Zhao Chengkong's heart. Impossible. How could our power perception be so great? Even if it is a top professional, it is definitely not so strong. This guy, what is his origin? The incomparably strong pride and complacency in Zhao Chengkong's heart. Attack after attack, and in the discussion of the people around. Little by little, it is fading away quickly. Various emotions such as anger, annoyance, fear, and regret. It was constantly intertwined and mixed in his mind. Finally, when these emotions accumulate to a peak, Zhao Chengkong exploded. I want you to pay for your arrogance. Zhao Chengkong roared angrily. The treasure-level long sword in his hand glowed scarlet. Then it quickly expanded to his whole body. Immediately afterwards, Zhao Chengkong soared into the air. With your own body. Turned into a 10 meters long. A terrifying dragon wrapped in scarlet light. Roaring and swooping towards Li Xian. The damage type boosting skills attached to treasure-level weapons. And then add all your mana. The cost is the life value of 90% of your own value. The sword hero's final skill that can only be used, Crazy Dragon Slash. Paying such a high price. But it was just to break through my defense and cause me harm. It seems, this guy's mentality is on the verge of collapse. As long as I block this attack again, his mentality will completely collapse. Zhao Chengkong attacked so loudly. It didn't scare Li Xian. On the contrary, Li Xian saw through it completely. Zhao Chengkong's current mentality problem. Then, Li Xian raised his hand again. He raised his little finger. Sweep towards the direction where Zhao Chengkong slashed. Clang. The 10-meter-long dragon collided with Li Xian's little finger. Li Xian's little finger was still intact. And Zhao Chengkong was holding a long sword. But by the huge power attached to Li Xian's little finger, it was thrown straight away. Boom. Zhao Chengkong, who flew upside down, fell heavily under the ring. He has 10% health left. The health value was not emptied because of this collision. End this challenge with Li Xian. But the fighting spirit in his heart. But it has disappeared without a trace. Lost. Completely lost. A blow with all my might. Can't even break through the defenses of his little finger. The gap between us, it's too big. Zhao Chengkong lying on the ground. He stared blankly at the sky. In this battle with Li Xian, all the pride, complacency, and self-confidence in his heart, they were all completely defeated by Li Xian. He could no longer bring up the idea of continuing to fight. Just staring blankly at the blue sky, resignedly waiting for the announcement of the end of the battle to appear. And at the same time that Zhao Chengkong was knocked off the ring, Wang Dongli stepped onto the ring with a look of excitement. "Come to Li Xian," excitedly announced to all candidates and audience present. "The brave man of the sword. He has been knocked out of the ring by our genius candidate. Without a doubt, the winner of this duel. It's the genius candidate standing by my side now." Talking, Wang Dongli continued to be excited. Asked Li Xian, "This examinee, excuse me for the sword hero who was defeated by you. Is there anything you want to say?" In order to make Lien show the bad breath of being provoked all the time. It was also for revenge for Zhao Chengkong's previous behavior of constantly provoking trouble. Wang Dongli had ulterior motives. Such a question was asked to Li Xian. And under Wang Dongli's inquiry, Li Xian concealed the magic armor on his body. The expressionless response said, "For an opponent who is inferior to nail clippers, I have nothing to say." Although Li Xian said that he had nothing to say, but the evaluation of Zhao Chengkong is already very obvious. That's one, not even nail clippers, and these words, also through Wang Dongli's PA equipment, clearly spread throughout the square. Entered Zhao Chengkong. It has entered the ears of every candidate and audience present. I am a hero of the sword. It's not as good as a nail clipper. Under the ring, Zhao Chengkong just stood up. In an instant, he was furious, his eyes darkened, and he passed out with anger. Zhao Chengkong fell into a coma. The staff of the surrounding Huhai Academy immediately caught up. "Take care and treat Zhao Chengkong." The surrounding candidates and audience. There was a heated discussion about it too. It's not even as good as nail clippers. Isn't this evaluation too rampant? This is completely neglecting the sword hero. But it's true. That sword hero, defeated by someone with a little finger, is indeed not as good as a nail clipper. Murdering and punishing the heart. This is really killing and punishing the heart. Look at the brave man of the sword, he fainted from the anger. It is estimated that the sword hero will not be able to get out of this person's shadow for the rest of his life. The onlookers and the audience discussed endlessly. And in their discussions, Wang Dongli smoothed the field and said, "It seems that our talented candidate, I have nothing to say to that sword hero. Since this is the case, we are in this exam. New number 1 and no. 2. Climb to their thrones." In Wang Dongli's announcement, Li Xian and Nkiki Ping fled towards the top 10 throne. They then landed in the first and second seats respectively. After Li Xian and Li Xian took their seats, Wang Dongli also continued to preside over the admissions examination. 20. Continuously let batch after batch of candidates enter the copy. It was several hours later, when the last batch of candidates came out of the copy. Wang Dongli stood on the high platform. The announcement of this admissions examination has begun. The last batch of candidates has also finished their exams. I announce that the Huhai Academy's early admissions exam is officially over. In this early admissions exam, the number of people who cleared the copy is 316. These 316 candidates will all get one copy. A gift of resources from my Huhai Academy. Finished. Wang Dongli waved his hand. The staff present immediately bring a copy of valuable practice resources. Under the envious eyes of other candidates and the audience, distribute these resources to, including the top 10 candidates like Li Xian. All candidates who have cleared the copy. Here we go. Look at the tray in the hands of the staff. Those props, equipment and cash checks lying quietly. Li Xian and Nkiki, who was next to him, looked at each other and smiled. Then put things into the professional space together. While Li Xian was putting away these resources, Wang Dongli continued. Candidates who successfully pass the dungeon today. As long as you are willing to join my Huhai Academy, you can enjoy the treatment of talented students and get key training. Candidates who haven't cleared the copy don't need to care. My Huhai Academy will be in the National Unified Entrance Examination 3 days later. An ordinary admissions exam will be held again. If you can perform well among the candidates in 3 days' time, it can also become a genius student. Get the key training from our Huhai Academy. Welcome everyone in 3 days. Come and take the admissions exam of my Huhai Academy. Wang Dongli's words. The act of distributing resources with Lake Sea staff. It successfully aroused the discussion of many people present. This made them have a very good impression of Huhai Academy. They are all discussing whether it will be 3 days later. Whether you want to come to take the entrance examination of Huhai Academy. Candidate exam is over. Candidates who do not have a clearance copy. And the audience who came to watch the play dispersed one after another. Candidates who have successfully cleared the dungeon, at the invitation of the staff of Huhai Academy, started to negotiate the treatment after entering the school. And as the top 10 in this exam, Li Xian and other top 10 candidates in the admissions examination. Naturally, I will not fail to be invited by Huhai Academy. Student Li Xian, classmate Ankaki. The relationship between the two of you is very good. I won't talk to you separately. I discussed with you directly. When the top 10 candidates are negotiating with the staff. Wang Dongli, who is the main person in charge of this exam. I personally found Li Xian and Ankiki. To Li Xian and the two said, as long as the two of you are willing to join our Huhai Academy. In terms of remuneration, our school will provide for both of you. Provide a dedicated single-family villa, a team dedicated to your daily life, and a scholarship of 10 million per year. In terms of weapons and equipment, we will invite master-level auxiliary-level occupations to cast a full set of treasure-level equipment. And carry out a series of enhancements such as strengthening and enchanting to the greatest extent on these equipment. In terms of level improvement, we will send tutors around level 70 to teach you specifically. At the same time, he will also be responsible for leading you to explore Mekong and experience the frontline war. In order to attract Li Xian and the two to join Huhai War Academy, Wang Dongli made a series of unusually lucrative promises to Li Xian and the two. The other top 10 candidates beside me are jealous. Certainly, the most emotionally complex, Zhao Chengkong, was still ranked 3rd. It was supposed to be treated like this. It should all belong to me. Zhao Chengkong was extremely jealous in his heart. But when I think about it, I was in the ring before. The matter of being easily beaten by Li Xian. All the thoughts in Zhao Chengkong's mind. It's all gone in smoke. This guy is horrible. Can't fight this guy. Let him join Huhai Academy. Anyway, I don't want to enter Huhai Academy. The first school is my home. As long as this pervert stays in Huhai Academy, I won't have to face him again. Think here. Zhao Chengkong was about to open his mouth to refuse in front of him. The staff member of Huhai Academy who negotiated with him. But before he could speak, Li Xian on the side. But he spoke first. The conditions of your Huhai Academy are very good. We are not planning to join Huhai Academy. Li Xian was one step ahead of Zhao Chengkong. Rejected Wang Dongli's invitation. The expression on Wang Dongli's face froze for a moment. Then quickly advised, 2 students, if you feel that these resources are not enough, then we can continue talking. As long as you are willing to join our school, we can give you the treatment. It will even be better than the treatment that the first school can give you. Anyway, please think about our Huhai Academy again. Li Xian chuckled, although the tone is very flat. But the content is very firm. Let's take part in the early admissions exam of Huhai Academy. It's purely for the first and second place rewards. Now the reward has arrived. It's time for us to leave. Talking, Li Xian patted Ankaki on the back. Turn around and walk in the direction of leaving Huhai Academy. But, before leaving Huhai Academy completely, Li Xian also left the last sentence. And, it's not that I rejected your Huhai Academy. It's your Huhai Academy who rejected me. If it was in Anping City, you are not the first to stand up and throw stones at me. Perhaps, it is really possible for me to join Huhai Academy. Finished. Li Xian and Ankiki didn't look back. Left Huhai Academy. They stayed because Li Xian refused the invitation from Huhai Academy. And shocked the other top 10 candidates. Leave a look of contemplation. Thinking about the content of Li Xian's words. Li Xian and Ankiki left Huhai Academy. Originally, Zhao Chengkong had the same plan as Li Xian. But not ready to leave. These two perverts refused to join Huhai Academy. I definitely want to enter the first school. Give up the invitation from Huhai Academy and continue to take the exam at the first academy. I'm definitely going to meet these two perverts again. I don't want to fight them again. Out of fear of Li Xian and Enkiki, Zhao Chengkong forcibly changed his original thoughts. No longer thinking about going to the first school. Turned to seriously talk to the staff in front of him. Discuss the treatment of staying in Huhai Academy. At the same time that Zhao Chengkong changed his original mind, Wang Dongli was also thinking those words Li Xian said before leaving. It's not that I rejected you. It's you who rejected me. Anping City. Through these words, Wang Dongli soon had a rough idea. Anping City, I remember it as a small city in the Huhai province. At the beginning, our Huhai province was there. What has been done to him to make things worse? But it shouldn't be. With the strength he has shown, his profession is at least the strength of a top-level brave profession. The admissions staff of our school. How can you make trouble for him? Wang Dongli was not clear about what happened in Anping City. One possibility after another flashed through my mind. But no matter how he thinks. But there is no way to get a specific answer. At this time, Xiao Wang, I heard about this admissions exam. Two geniuses from top brave class professions appeared. Where are they? Why didn't I see them? Sun Mingyuan, the dean of Huhai Academy. With a few tutors from Huhai Academy. He came to Wang Dongli with great interest. He asked Wang Dongli suspiciously. Wang Dongli looked up at Sun Mingyuan. What happened before, and what Li Xian said before he left was repeated. Then, the expression on Sun Mingyuan's face changed slightly. Looking at Wang Dongli in disbelief, he asked, "Are you sure the candidate's name is Li Xian? And it came out of Anping City?" Wang Dongli nodded in affirmation. Sun Mingyuan frowned even tighter. Little Lu once told me about Anping City. I still have influence on this matter. At that time, he awakened to a life-level profession. Xiao Lu's decision has been affirmed by me. As for the encore, I've never even heard of it. Theoretically speaking, it is impossible for them to have this ability. How come they are not even as good as a hero-level profession? Could it be, during the 2 months here, their careers have also evolved for a number of reasons? Evolved into the top brave professional. This is after Sun Mingyuan thought for a long time. The only answer. Because, in the history of Great Sha, it is true that there have been many career evolution phenomena. There are upgrades from life-level occupations to auxiliary-level occupations. There are upgrades from normal grades to special grades and even hero grades. After getting this answer, Sun Mingyuan's mood did not improve because of this. On the contrary, I am annoyed and regretful because of it. This is a top-level brave professional. If you didn't agree to Xiao Lu's proposal at the beginning, perhaps my Huhai Academy can bring these two geniuses into the academy. It's all right now, give it to the first academy for nothing. Sent over 2 top talents. Sun Mingyuan was extremely annoyed. I can't wait to give myself 2 slaps. While Sun Mingyuan was extremely upset, Wang Dongli got the answer from Sun Mingyuan. He also let out a sigh of disappointment. This thing is messed up. After leaving Huhai Academy, Li Xian and Enkiki, he didn't stay too much in Huhai City. He came directly to the teleportation array in Huhai City. After spending hundreds of thousands of high-priced transmission fees for one person, it was successful from Huhai City. Teleported to the city where the Great Sha First War Academy is located. That is, the Daxia King City, the capital of Daxia. Welcome to Great Sha King City. I am the receiving puppet number 0125. For the next 24 hours, I will be the guide for the 2 of you. Please tell me, both of you, to your heart's content. Just pass through the teleportation array. Teleport to Daxia King City. A low-level puppet with number 0125 written on it. We came in front of Li Xian and Enkiki. A puppet. There is actually a puppet in Daxia Royal City to guide you. Li Xian and Enkiki are in the hearts of both. Everyone was amazed by this. Involuntarily in my heart, he had a good impression of the Great Sha Royal City. Then, while raising a good impression, Li Xian and Enkiki, under the leadership of the No 0125 puppet, walked out of the main hall where the teleportation array was located. came to the streets of Great Sha King City. Clean, tidy and spacious. Standing on the streets of Daxia King City, in the hearts of Li Xian and Enkiki. Immediately, these 4 words appeared. This is the streets of Daxia King City. It is 20 or 30 meters wide. The ground is covered with a unified marble floor. There is no trace of garbage or sundries. Buildings on both sides of the street. Although it is just an ordinary orderly arrangement. But when they form a whole. But with a different kind of artistic sense and beauty. Just take a rough look. I will think in my heart. These buildings are carefully designed by the hands of masters. It is worthy of the Great Sha Royal City. Compared with small rural places in the rear like Anping City and Huhai City. It's just different, after admiring the Great Sha King City. However, Li Xian did not play in the Great Sha Royal City. Instead, it is directly under the leadership of No 0125 Puppet. I found a good hotel as a foothold in Daxia King City. Subsequently, Li Xian and Enkiki just hid in Li Xian's room. Brother Li Xian, I have already linked up all the commercial airlines. We'll start now. Let's upgrade our magic armor to the boutique level. Encore looked expectant. He took off his magic armor. Put it in front of Li Xian. Waiting for Li Xian's refining. That's right, Li Xian and Enkiki, well done. The first thing to do after coming to Daxia King City. It is to strengthen your magic armor. Don't worry, there are still 3 days before the exam at the first academy. We have plenty of time. Let's upgrade the magic armor. So, before upgrading the magic armor, let's digest it first. Harvest the resources you got at Huhai Academy before. Talking, Li Xian places himself in the professional space. Those harvests I got at Huhai Academy before. All were taken out of the factory. Oh, let's see the harvest first. Looking at what Li Xian took out. Encore put itself a second place award. They were also taken out together. Put together with Li Xian's harvest. 15 drops of Misty Fountain. 1 talent enhancement stone. Equipment upgrade magic stone 2. 1 treasure level weapon and 1 rare level weapon each. Cash check 15 million. This is Li Xian and Enkiki. After winning first and second place at Huhai Academy. The sum of rewards obtained. The Misty Fountain is an item that increases attribute values. But it doesn't work much for us who have magic armor. So, just use your own share. Li Xian and Enkiki took back their Misty Magic Spring and swallowed them. Each enhanced their own attributes. Subsequently, Li Xian looked at the Talent Enhancement Magic Stone again. This thing can enhance the ability of talent. And my talent is a god-level talent. Can this magic stone continue to enhance my talent? Hold the mentality of trying it out. Li Xian picked up the Talent Enhancement Magic Stone. Trying to use on yourself. Invalid. The Talent Enhancement Magic Stone in Li Xian's hand. No changes occurred. It seems that this thing has no effect on my talent. Li Xian shook his head. Take this Talent Enhancement Magic Stone in your hand. Handed the Encore and said. This thing doesn't work for me. You take it and use it. Yeah, thank you brother Li Xian. Enkiki was not polite. Received the Talent Enhancement Magic Stone from Li Xian. We chose use aiming at oneself. Next moment, the Talent Enhancement Magic Stone in Encore's hand. It turned into a white light and poured into Enkiki's body. My fearless talents have been enhanced. All the effects have been increased by about 10%. Enkiki briefly introduced his situation. Li Xian nodded. Continue to look at the 2 weapons. Both weapons are very common longsword weapons. To see these weapons, what is the difference from the firearms and weapons that you refine yourself? Li Xian deliberately clicked on it. Check the attributes of the treasure level long sword. Weapon, Frost Knight Sword. Quality, treasure level. Injury, 210. Attributes, strength plus 60, stamina plus 40, agility plus 40. Skill, 1. Ice Trauma. When dealing damage to the target, slow down the opponent's movement speed. 2. Bone-piercing frost. Cast freeze on the target within 5 meters, bind the target's body for 0.1-10 seconds, and the binding time will be changed by the strength difference between the 2 sides. 3. Frost bloodline. Absorb the frost power from the sword and attach it to the owner, temporarily increasing the owner's damage by 50%. Lasts 5 minutes. Adds 210 damage. Increase the attribute value by a total of 140 points. And also has 3 skills. The attributes of this treasure level equipment are not bad. It belongs to the small best among treasure level weapons. But compared with magic armor, this equipment has no advantage at all. Compared with the attributes of Li Xian's weapons, it's even worse. After all, it is just a weapon made from cold weapons. Compared with modern weapons, which are 1 or 2 times ahead of the times, it's not a little bit worse. Li Xian shook his head. Take this Frost Knight sword. And the other rare long sword. Also handed over to Encore. Take these weapons and use them. Anka shook his head. Take your own rocket-powered hammer that's bigger than her whole body. Took it out and said, it's enough for me to have this weapon that can be used with the magic armor. Look at this rocket-powered hammer. Li Xian recalled the time when he gave this weapon to Ankaki. When using magic armor because of Encore, there are no suitable weapons to use. Li Xian brought himself out of the special weapon warehouse. A weapon that requires power armor to be used. All were taken out. Let Encore choose your favorite weapon. Li Xian thought she would pick out some lightsabers. Weapons such as laser cannons and Vulcan Gatling. Result, Encore chose such a heavy hammer. Compared with ordinary cold weapons, when the weapon is brandished, can activate the rocket ejector. Greatly increase the power of the instant burst. According to Bai Shui's introduction, this weapon, it is generally used to deal with targets such as large ships. Fight flesh creatures with the weapons you use against ships. Obviously already belongs to the supermodel. Encore with this weapon. Obviously there is no need for these cold weapons. FFLX. Then wait until you're free. Let's find a place to sell these weapons. I see. Encore can combine these 2 weapons. And that rocket-powered hammer. Income into their own professional space together. Subsequently, Encore looked at Li Xian expectantly again. Brother Li Xian, Kabi is now done taking stock of the harvest. Should we start improving the quality of the magic armor? Li Xian chuckled. It's not that I won't strengthen you. As for being so anxious, shake your head. Li Xian picked up an equipment upgrade magic stone. Facing Encore's magic armor. Use your refining skills. Gift. The golden light shrouded Ankaki's magic armor. The miraculous energy value possessed by Li Xian. It also begins to decline rapidly during this process. When the miraculous energy value Li Xian possesses, after a full reduction of 50 points of miracle energy, the refining of Encore's magic armor, it finally stopped. And with the end of the quality upgrade, Encore's magic armor, it is also based on the original ordinary standard equipment. There are a few more different colors and textures. It also has some features of its own. It looks a lot more upscale. It no longer looks like a mass-produced type of equipment. Quality upgrades will change the appearance. That's not bad at all. However, from the ordinary level to the boutique level. But it consumed 50 of my miracle energy. It really means that the more powerful the attribute of the equipment is, the consumption of this miracle energy will be more. After a sigh, Li Xian opened the attribute panel of this set of magic armor. Check out the attributes of this set of magic armor after quality upgrade. Equipment magic armor, special armor. Quality, boutique level. Attributes daily activities consume 1 unit of energy per second, and combat status consumes 2 units of energy per second. Skill 1. Magic armor. When equipped with magic armor, the wearer's power will increase to 300 right pointing arrows 600 points, and physical strength and agility will increase to 200 right pointing arrow 400 points. 2. Mana engine. Mana armor can absorb energy by itself, and the absorbing speed is 2 right pointing arrow 4 unit energy per second. 3. Ultimate overload. Increase energy consumption to 10 points per second right pointing arrow 15 points per second. Increase the value of various attributes 50% right pointing arrow 100% and continue to consume energy. Energy storage value, attribute effect, and absorption speed are doubled. Extreme overload skill consumption increased by 50%. After opening, the attribute increase effect provided has doubled. It seems that it has been upgraded from the ordinary level to the boutique level. It is equivalent to the effect of extracting 5 times. Try to extract this set of magic armor again. Look at the effect of the extraction. It is to continue to increase by 20% according to the attributes of the ordinary level. Let's increase it by 20% according to the current attribute. If it is according to the current situation, that's equivalent to extracting once as equivalent to the previous 2 times. With this in mind, Li Xian faced the magic armor in his hand. I used my own extraction skills. Enhanced its attributes. Base. As the golden light dissipated, Li Xian finished extracting and enhancing Encore's magic armor. And after this extraction enhancement is over, Li Xian also discovered the miraculous energy value he possessed. A full reduction of 20 points. Compared with the extraction enhancement of ordinary magic armor. A full increase of 10 miracle energy. Doubled. Compared to the extraction consumption of ordinary magic armor. Extraction consumption of high-quality magic armor. Twice as much as the normal grade. How about the boost? If it's still at the normal level, then it is necessary to consider. Do you want to upgrade the quality of these weapons and equipment of mine? Click on the enhanced boutique level magic armor. Li Xian checked the attributes of this set of magic armor. Equipment magic armor, special armor. Quality, boutique level. Attributes daily activities consume 1 unit of energy per second, and combat status consumes 2 units of energy per second. Skill 1. Magic armor. When equipped with magic armor, the wearer's power increases to 600 right pointing arrow 720 points, and physical strength and agility increase to 400,480 points. 2. Mana engine. Mana armor can absorb energy by itself, and the drawing speed is 4 right pointing arrow 4.8 unit energy per second. 3. Ultimate overload. Energy consumption is increased to 10 points per second right pointing arrow 15 points per second, and the value of various attributes is increased 100% right pointing arrow 120% until energy consumption is felt. After the quality has improved. Extraction enhanced attributes. It is based on the attributes after quality improvement. Come to strengthen according to the value of 20%. In this way, Li Xian is in my mind. I roughly estimated it. The advantages and disadvantages of quality improvement. The disadvantages are obvious. That is, after the quality is improved, the consumption of the extraction effect will double. The same as from no enhancement to extraction plus 5. The normal level only needs to consume 50 miracle energy. But the boutique level needs to consume 100 miracle energy points. And the benefits. It is now that 1 extraction is equivalent to 2 normal level extractions. Take the power attribute value provided by magic armor as an example. High quality magic armor. Level 1 to 5 extraction enhancement requires 20 miracle energy points for each level. But because the strengthening base is 600 points, it only needs to consume 100 miracle energy points to reach the level of extraction plus 5. It can increase the strength attribute from 600 points to 1200 points. And normal level mana armor. Because the strengthening base is only 300 points. Want to raise it to 1200 points. It needs to reach the level of extraction plus 15. It is calculated based on the 50% increase in consumption for every 5 levels of extraction enhancement. Level 1 to 5 extraction enhancement is 10 points per level, a total of 50 points are needed. Level 6 to 10 extraction enhancement is 15 points per level, a total of 75 points are needed. Level 11 to 15 extraction enhancement is 22.5 points per level. But due to characteristics, 22.5 is automatically further turned into 23 points. So level 5 requires a total of 115 points. Enhanced from level 1 to level 15 miracle power consumption. A total of 240 miracle energy points are needed. Compare the two. Same attribute values. The consumption required for high quality equipment. Not even half of regular grade. From a long-term perspective. Improve the quality of weapons and equipment. It is better than simply extracting and strengthening the equipment. A more promising direction of development. Obviously, improve the quality of equipment. It is more promising than simply extracting. So, my set of magic armor with extraction plus 10. It's time to upgrade to high quality equipment. After returning Encore's magic armor to Encore. Put on the magic armor happily in Encore. While being familiar with the attributes provided by the magic armor, Li Xian picked up the remaining equipment upgrade magic stone. Target the magic armor you have. Use refining skills to upgrade quality. B. Gift. The golden light gathered on the magic armor on Li Xian's body for a while. It just disappeared. It didn't respond to this set of magic armor that Li Xian possessed. Refining for quality improvement. Same. The miraculous energy value possessed by Li Xian. There is no drop in the slightest. Can't upgrade. What's going on? Li Xian was very puzzled. Facing the magic armor on his body. The refining skill was used again. But the result is the same as before. It was only after a burst of golden light flashed. It just stopped. But it's different from last time. After Li Xian used the refining skill this time. In Li Xian's heart, emerged information from one's own talent. Lack of miracle energy. Use refining skills when improving the quality of equipment that has been enhanced by extraction. It will be directly upgraded to the current extraction level of the equipment. In simpler terms, it is magic armor that has not been strengthened by extraction. Only 40 miracle energy points are needed to complete the quality improvement. And Li Xian's magic armor with plus 10 extraction. It must be based on 40 points. Plus boutique level to extract plus 10 miraculous energy. In other words, a total of 290 miracle energy points will be consumed. Then subtract the miracle energy consumption during normal level extraction. That is 125 miracle energy points. After some addition and subtraction. I want to upgrade my magic armor with extraction plus 10. The amount of miracle energy that Li Xian needs to consume. For 165 miracle energy. And the most important point is. Improve equipment quality. It is still not possible to refine terrorist robots like before. It can be divided into several times for refining. It is necessary to consume enough miraculous energy at one time. And Li Xian's current level is only level 15. The upper limit of miracle energy storage is only 150 points. Obviously this is not possible. Certainly, if you insist on quality improvement, it can also be forced to improve the quality. But in this way, those consumptions that are strengthened at the normal level, it will all be in vain. Consumes 165 miracle power. It is directly upgraded to a high-quality magic armor with extraction plus 10. It still consumes 40 miracle energy. Put the extraction plus 10 mana armor. Upgrade to unenhanced boutique level magic armor. This is the choice Li Xian faces now. Choose the former. You need to wait until the level is raised to level 17. After the miracle energy is fully charged again, it can be strengthened. Choose the latter. Then you only need to use the refining skill 3 times in a row. That is to use the refining skill again. You can forcefully improve the quality. So, it's time to wait and strengthen it. Or forcibly upgrade to the boutique level. This idea just passed through Li Xian's mind. Li Xian made his own choice. I don't need to upgrade the magic armor right now. There is no need to waste more than 100 points of miraculous energy. So, let's wait a little longer. Wait until I have 165 miracle energy points. Continue to strengthen my set of magic armor. With this in mind, Li Xian stopped for this set of magic armor on himself. Continue to use the idea of refining skills. And Li Xian's decision. It also caught Encore's attention. Brother Li Xian, don't you want to upgrade the magic armor? Li Xian smiled, explained the situation to Encore. So this is all. The expression on Enkiki's face was very regretful. Then, I don't know if I want to comfort Li Xian. Or for some other reason. Encore proposed to Li Xian. Brother Li Xian, just now I asked number 0125 on the way here. It said that there are many interesting places in Daxia Royal City. How about we go out and play? Just take it as a refreshment for you. Going out to play. Li Xian looked at Encore. Speaking of which, Kiki and I have known each other for a long time. Before, we fought side by side for 2 months. I really haven't hung out together, I've gone out on a date. Maybe I can take advantage of this time to go out on a date. Get closer and closer to her. Even to establish a relationship with her. Between the thoughts in my heart, Li Xian agreed to Encore's proposal. As the capital of Daxia, in addition to having the largest population and the busiest downtown, the Great Sha Royal City. It is also the first applicable location for many emerging technologies. It is the place that leads the whole summer trend. It's here. It can be seen that it is based on the magic ore that appeared in the Mist Age. Many magical creations created to imitate the technology of the peaceful age. For example, the magic circuit trams set up in various parts of Daxia King City. You can see the use of various professional skills. For example, the magic puppets that are active in every corner of Daxia Royal City. For example, many shops run by life-level occupations such as bakers, pastry chefs, and magicians. In addition to these affairs that are very close to modern life, you can also see many things that generally existed in ancient times, such as the arena between professionals, such as the Colosseum between professionals and fog monsters. For example, a large theater for professional activities such as singers and actors, close to the modern style of mana technology. In addition, various places and activities with a strong ancient style of a slightly steampunk feel, but it is full of vitality and hope. A city completely different from the heavy steampunk style. That's what Li Xian and Enkiki saw. The whole picture of Daxia King City. Wangcheng is worthy of being the capital of Great Sha. The streets here are clean and tidy. Life here is full and fun. Lots of delicious food of all kinds. Compared to Anping City and Huhai City, it's like two different worlds. It's such a blessing to live in such a world. People before the mist. It must be living in such a city. Holding a honey custard cake from a bakery, Enkiki was very excited. Sent an exclamation to Li Xian. Li Xian responded with a smile. Brought to Li Xian by the Great Sha Royal City. There are also surprises and surprises. But unlike Enkoko, Li Xian was astonished at Daxia Royal City. It's the city that can do this. It's not surprising that this city is so powerful. After all, compared with those big cities in modern society, this Great Sha Royal City is still far behind. Compared to this world before the mist appeared, it's even worse. So, exclaim in the face of Encore. Li Xian just smiled and said, people before the fog appeared. The city I live in is cleaner and tidier than the Great Sha King City. Their life is more prosperous and interesting than here. If you like this life, when we become stronger in the future, I can use my abilities. Recreate the city in the peaceful era. Let you have a good experience. Really, Encore stopped. Standing in front of Li Xian, he looked at Li Xian with surprise and anticipation. Li Xian smiled lightly. Have you forgotten Snow White? She was born in the peaceful age before the mist. With her here, I want to reproduce the peaceful era. It's not a difficult thing for us. I believe in brother Li Xian. And Kiki nodded vigorously. Trust Li Xian. This is the agreement between the two of them. Subsequently, the two returned to normal. They walked side by side on the streets of Daxia King City. Continue to walk and play in the Daxia King City. That's it. The time came tonight. Li Xian and Enkiki, back to the hotel where we stayed temporarily, came to the door of the two people's room. Brother Li Xian, hang out with you today. I had a great time. Tomorrow we will go out to play together. Keep playing until the first school admissions exam starts 3 days later. After delivering the encore to the door of her room, Enkiki stood in front of Li Xian, said such words to Li Xian. Li Xian nodded. A warm smile appeared on his face. I also had a good time today. I'm also looking forward to tomorrow. Let's hang out together. But, he stretched out his hand and pushed Enkiki against the wall with a wall dong. Then gently raised Enkiki's chin. Let Encore hold its head up. Look into your own eyes and say, I think it's tomorrow. We should be in a closer identity. Just go out and play together. What do you think? Swish. Sniffing the scent coming from Li Xian. Feel Li Xian exhaled gently. Enkiki's delicate face flushed instantly. The body became weaker for a while. Only rely on the wall behind. In order to barely support his body. Me. The deer in Enkiki's heart slammed wildly. Emotions of excitement, tension and joy. In that Koka's mind was churning crazily. So much so that she couldn't physically respond to Li Xian's words. Bin, me, for a long time. Didn't even give an accurate answer. B. See this performance of Encore. How can Li Xian know Enkiki's intentions? Bow your head. After kissing Enkiki's face lightly, Li Xian moved closer to Enkiki's ear. Said softly to Enkiki. If you don't speak, I'll take it as if you accepted. From now on, we will be lovers. Tomorrow, we will be boyfriend and girlfriend. Go out and play together. Finished. Li Xian didn't give Encore any time to respond. Turned around without hesitation, walked out of the Encore room, and closed the door of the Enkoko room. Boom underscore. With the door closed, and Kiki also lay limp on the ground. She touched it in a daze. The cheek kissed by Li Xian. My heart is full of disbelief. Brother Li Xian and I. That establishes the relationship. Are we boyfriends and friends? Why does it feel unreal? Encore's thoughts kept surging. And then involuntarily, thinking of Li Xian cornering her before. The scene where he lifts her chin and talks to her. So shy, so happy. And Kiki couldn't help covering her face. Joyful emotions continued to emerge in my heart. The other side, after leaving the Encore room, Li Xian returned to his room. He lay down on the bed in his room. Judging from the reaction of just opening the Coco, it's already confirmed that Coco also has a crush on me. What to do next? It's just before the exam at the first academy. Keep dating Coco. Continue to increase my relationship with Coco. Strive to be in the first school after the end of the exam. Take down this cute and lovely animal ear girl. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. Regarding the relationship with Encore in the next few days. Full of anticipation. Boom boom boom. Next morning. Li Xian came to Enkiki's room early in the morning. Gently knocked on Encore's door. Tat-a-tat-tat. There was a flurry of footsteps in the room. Subsequently, it's clearly an Enkoko that's been well groomed. Open the door and appear in front of Li Xian. Brother Li Xian, you are here. The expression on Enkiki's face was very happy. But he didn't dare to look directly into Li Xian's eyes. Li Xian smiled lightly. He took a step forward and took Enkiki's hand and said, Let's go on our first date as a couple. Anka nodded. Red faces under the leadership of Li Xian. Go outside the hotel, Li Xian and Enkiki. Let's play again in this great Sha King city. EF. $F. TF. In the process of constantly visiting the great Sha King city, the relationship between Li Xian and Encore is getting closer and closer. The affection between the two. During this process, it began to gradually heat up. Between each other from time to time, there were some small gestures of intimacy. When time comes after night again, Li Xian and Enkiki came to Encore's room again. After discussing with Encore for a while about 20 days. Seeing that Enkiki didn't intend to stay for the night, Li Xian didn't insist on this either. He said directly and bluntly, That's the end of today. You have a good rest, I can go to my own room first. We'll continue tomorrow. Talking. Li Xian stood up. Getting ready to leave the Enkoko room. Go back to your room. But right now, and many more. Enkiki took Li Xian's hand. Li Xian stopped in his tracks. Look at Encore. Waiting for Encore's follow-up words. But what disappointed Li Xian was. Enkiki blushed and held back for a long time. Neither did they say what Li Xian wanted to hear. At last, it was Encore who couldn't get those words out of his mouth. He simply gave up on that plan. Instead, he stepped forward and walked to Li Xian's side. Standing on tiptoe, he kissed Li Xian on the lips. Subsequently, Enkiki hugged Li Xian. Putting his face on Li Xian's chest, he said, Played with brother Li Xian today. I had a great time. I want to go out on a date with you tomorrow. Although he didn't say that sentence. But that's not bad. Li Xian touched Enkiki's head. He touched Enkiki's furry animal ears again. Get some rest tonight. The day after tomorrow is the admissions exam for the No. 1 university. Let's have another day of fun tomorrow. After entering the academy. But there may not be time to go out on a date. Enkiki nodded vigorously. Then he took a step back and let go of Li Xian. Li Xian gave Encore a smile again. Then he left Encore's room. Boom. There was the sound of the door closing. Enkiki lay down on the bed. Wrap yourself up with the comforter on your bed. Why didn't brother Li Xian stay? Obviously, as long as I open my mouth, brother Li Xian will definitely stay. Why can't you just say it? Enkiki, you are so unbelievable. Wrapped in the quilt after rolling several times on the bed, Encore finally calmed down. Forget it this time today. There's an exam the day after tomorrow, so it won't work tomorrow. Then wait until the exam is over. After Li Xian and I get the first and second place. And brother Li Xian again. In Li Xian's room. Li Xian, who was lying on the bed, had a smile on his face. It seems that KK still can't let go today. Wait until tomorrow and continue to get acquainted for another day. Use the day of the admissions exam to cool off. It should be almost ready to win. The night when the first school's enrollment ended. It's the day when Coco is officially won. Li Xian and Nkiki. Although no conversation took place. But coincidentally, put the admissions exam on the day it ends. Make it a day to get to know each other more deeply. And looking forward to it. And in the expectation of Li Xian an encore. Time flies by, in a blink of an eye. All war schools across the country in Daxia. The day of the entrance examination has finally arrived. Great Shah Royal City, at the gate of the Great Shah First War Academy. Li Xian and Nkiki arrived here as soon as they arrived. I saw one after another. Candidates who were about the same age as the two of them. Walk into the gate of the Institute of Warfare. Then it was like a stone falling into the water. After setting off a burst of ripples, it disappeared without a trace. It seems that the screening assessment has already begun. Let's go in together. Li Xian and Nkiki looked at each other. They also walked towards the entrance of the first academy. In the previous 2 days. Except that Li Xian and Li Xian are dating. I also learned about the admissions examination of the first university. The admissions candidates of the first university are divided into 3 stages. The first stage is the screening stage. This stage will start from entering the first school. At this stage, candidates who entered the first school will be teleported to an excitable rift world. There are a large number of monsters around level 10 in the secret world. And various organs and traps. As long as it is before 12 noon. Kill 100 monsters living in the secret world. You will automatically pass the screening exam. Was teleported back to the real world. Enter the real first school. Between thoughts, Li Xian and Nkiki also stepped into the gate of the first war academy. With the emergence of bursts of space ripples, Li Xian found his surroundings. Already from the gate of the first school. Turned into a dense jungle. And Encore, who had been holding hands with me before. It has also disappeared, after entering the secret world. Will everyone be dispersed, although separated from Encore? But Li Xian is not worried about Encore. The strength of monsters in this secret world. Mostly around level 10, Encore with high-quality magic armor. There is no danger at all in such an environment. Not to mention Encore may not pass the screening exam. After all, in terms of the attributes provided by the magic armor. As long as Nkiki doesn't stand still, he doesn't do anything. Then there's no way she'd fail the screening test. The difficulty of killing 100 monsters. It's about how to find the hiding places of those monsters. And the group of monsters you may encounter. But to me, neither of these 2 points is a problem. Li Xian's thoughts moved slightly. Magic armor appeared on his body. And at the same time, put 100 mechanical floaters in the professional space. Also summoned all of them. Bai Shui, control the mechanical flying mosquito with me at the center. Carry out a carpet search around. As long as you find a monster, notify me as soon as possible. Li Shenxiang replaced Bai Shui of the Magic Armor Auxiliary Program. Issued his own order. Yes, received an order from Li Xian. The 100 mechanical flying mosquitoes summoned by Li Xian. Immediately under Bai Shui's control. Spread out in all directions. Launched a carpet search. Soon, under the search of these mechanical flying mosquitoes, Li Xian got the specific location of a monster. But Li Xian didn't charge directly. Kill that monster. Instead, he took out his magic sniper rifle. With Bai Shui's help and assistance, aim the magic sniper rifle at a direction in the jungle. Click. Li Xian gently pulled the trigger. The muzzle of the magic energy sniper rifle burst into flames immediately. Will be hundreds of meters away. A monster lurking in the jungle was shot in the head. Mechanical floaters provide vision. Bai Shui provides computing assistance and support. I can be like this now. Easy to complete the attack outside the line of sight. Let the enemy die without knowing how he died. A smile appeared on Li Xian's face. Very happy with this set of mine. Boom, boom, boom. Coordinate information provided on mechanical floaters. And under the support of the supercomputing provided by Bai Shui, Li Xian just stood there. Shot by shot, he pulled the trigger of the magic sniper rifle in his hand. Can be in those monsters. Totally imperceptible. Easily blow their heads off. Let one monster after another die without realizing it, and rely on this, a means of ultra-long range strikes like cheating. The number of monsters killed by Li Xian. Then it began to rise rapidly. Boom, when Li Xian shot again. After headshotting a monster thousands of meters away. Snow White's voice, from within Li Xian's fell armor. Master, the number of monsters you have killed so far. It has reached 99. And the 100th monster has also been found. Would you like to recall all mechanical floaters? Prevent them from leaving this secret world with you. Li Xian nodded. Leave a mechanical flying mosquito. Continue to provide information about the 100th monster pair. The other 99 mechanical flying mosquitoes are all recalled. Yes, Snow White responded. Immediately issued corresponding instructions to those mechanical flying mosquitoes. After a while, except for the mechanical flying mosquito that continued to monitor the monster, the remaining 99 mechanical floaters all returned to Li Xian's side, included in the professional space by Li Xian. Subsequently, Li Xian raised the magic sniper rifle. Aim at the last 100th monster. Pull the trigger of the magic sniper rifle. Boom. With the sound of the sniper rifle in his hand, in a corner thousands of meters away, a monster was directly blown to the head and lost its life. And while killing the 100th monster, Li Xian also felt his surroundings. A force of repulsion emerged. Want to exclude yourself from this world. Under the action of this repulsive force, Li Xian found the scene around him once again appeared and before. General changes when entering a rift world. It's just different from the previous time. This time, the scene around Li Xian. By a dense jungle, it became a huge marble square. Center of the square is a huge one, a blue vortex with a height of about 20 meters and a width of about 10 meters. It is clear, this is a dungeon entry. Just like Li Xian and Enkaki before. During the early admissions examination of the Huhai War Academy, the entrance of the phantom copy that entered is the same. According to our news a few days ago, quote, after the screening assessment, the official entrance examination will take place. As long as you successfully clear the dungeon with the requirements in the dungeon, you can successfully become a student of the first school. So, what to do next? Just enter this dungeon to clear the level. Looking at the huge copy entrance in front of him. Then look at other people walking out of the secret world. Candidates walking towards the copy entrance. Li Xian also knew what he was going to do next. But before that, Bai Shui, the mechanical flying mosquito that was not taken into the professional space before. Did you get kicked out with us? Snow White's voice sounded. It has been sent out. But it's not by your side, Master. It's on the other side of the square. I have manipulated it to wait in front of the copy entrance. Just go to the copy entrance. You can complete the recovery of mechanical floaters. Not only will I be excluded from the secret world, I took the mechanical object that went in with me. Will it be excluded along with it? It seems that I will enter these secret worlds later. You don't need to recycle these mechanical units before leaving. Keep the information that you have probed out in your heart. Li Xian walked near the entrance of the instance. Bring the remaining mechanical flying mosquito into the professional space. Then entered, among the copies of the second-time candidates. Welcome to this dungeon. This dungeon is the special admissions and assessment dungeon for the admissions of the Great Sha First War Academy. Hint 1. According to your level, this dungeon will become a level 15 single-player dungeon. Reminder 2. The first school only admits 3,000 freshmen this time, at all costs. Clear this copy as quickly as possible. The shorter the clearance time, the greater the chance of admission. Reminder 3. You must pass the dungeon within 1 hour to be qualified. If you cannot clear the dungeon within 1 hour, unfortunately, you will lose the qualification to enter the first school. Tip 4. After passing this copy with a passing score, you will enjoy a delicious lunch, and then you will take the third stage of the exam. After reading the series of copy prompts in front of you, below the prompt of this copy, a bold option appears in big red letters. Start the exam. It seems that this is the entrance examination for the first school. And other entrance exams for ordinary colleges. It doesn't make much difference either. It's all based on the customs clearance copy as the test score. After shaking his head and sighing, Li Xian lightly clicked on the Start Assessment option. Next moment, Li Xian found himself appear in a small camp set up in the wilderness. A bonfire burned in the center of the camp. Beside the bonfire sat a group of knights in silver armor. They are being led by a white-robed priestess, facing the bonfire and praying silently. The dungeon prompt didn't tell me. How can I clear this instance? That means I must be in the copy. Obtain the information of customs clearance copy by yourself. So, Li Xian walked towards the female priest in gray robes. In this camp, only this white-robed priestess is different. It's hard not to think. She is the key person to obtain the dungeon clearance information. Stop. Who are you? Stop. Don't come near. Stop. Identify yourself. Li Xian's approach did not trigger the imagined drama. On the contrary, it aroused the hostility of those knights. All knights, all stopped praying. Instead, he took out his weapon and looked at Li Xian warily. Keep this stranger Li Xian away. What kind of trick is this? After I come over, they shouldn't be welcoming. Give me the information I want. Then I will clear the dungeon and end this dungeon. What is this scenario? Although I was very puzzled in my heart. But in the case that these knights did not take the initiative to attack themselves, Li Xian didn't attack. Instead, try to communicate with the other person. I'm human. Don't worry. I mean no harm. I think we can calm down and talk. Li Xian's words. It successfully lowered the vigilance of those difficult knights Wang Zhao and the white-robed female priest who was protected by them at the rear. Also from walking through the crowd, came in front of them and said to Li Xian, "Sorry for treating you like this. But to make sure you're human like us, instead of the devil turning into a human being, please accept my use of holy light healing on you. Use this time to identify whether you belong to human beings. Use holy light healing to identify whether I belong to human beings." It seems that these copy NPC, not pure NPCs without any intelligence. It's a group of intelligent NPCs. Between the thoughts in my heart, Li Xian nodded towards the white-robed female priest. Okay, you can use it. Thank you for your understanding. The priestess in white robe bowed to Li Xian. Then he raised the staff in his hand. Indistinct. The female priest in white robe raised the staff in her hand. A milky white light immediately descended from the sky. Envelop Li Xian in it. Under the shroud of this light force, Li Xian could clearly feel it. These light forces are swimming on the surface of their bodies. I want to heal my wounds. But because there are no wounds on Li Xian's body, so these light forces, it was just walking around Li Xian's body surface, and did not proceed to the next step of healing. It dissipated directly into the air. It seems that you are indeed a real human being. It's not a human being disguised as a devil. Once again, I apologize to you on behalf of these fighters. Please forgive our rudeness. Watching the light power lingering around Li Xian dissipate, the female priest in white robe bowed to Li Xian again. Apologize for previous behavior. The knights behind him. He also put away his weapon. Follow the female priest and bow to Li Xian to apologize. It seems that we can still get along well. Facing the apology from the female priest and those knights, a smile appeared on Li Xian's face. I accept your apology. Let him pass the previous things. Li Xian accepted the priestess' apology. Next moment, Li Xian talked with the priestess and the knights. A cutscene to understand the information between and each other. After presenting in front of Li Xian, the female pastor said to Li Xian, "We are the Bright Holy Sea team to activate the Angel Gate in the mountains and valleys. As long as the Angel Gate can be activated, you can summon angels down to earth. Sweep the devils and demons from this land. You can wander in this demon-possessed land. It must be a strong adventurer. I want to invite you to join our team. I wonder if you would like to." The female pastor just finished speaking. A dungeon prompt appeared in front of Li Xian. You have successfully triggered the main mission. Activate the Angel Gate. Successfully activate the Angel Gate, and you can clear the instance. Finally got the information of customs clearance copy. Li Xian was overjoyed. Said to the priestess, "I accept your invitation. Where is that angel door? Let's go over and activate it now." Li Xian is gearing up. Cannot wait. I want to use my powerful weapons. Go and slay the monsters that stand in the way of the Angel's Gate. Clear this copy as quickly as possible. And under Li Xian's inquiry, the female priest pointed to a mountain range behind the camp and said, Alpine valleys are in this mountain range. There are too many monsters guarding the mountains and valleys. And there is a powerful demon lord, Kaka. It's too dangerous to believe directly in a breakthrough. So we are going to use this camp as a defensive point, constantly attracting small groups of monsters to appear. Until the number of monsters is reduced to, we can force a breakthrough after the volume. Forcibly break through the mountains and valleys. Li Xian frowned slightly. Take this camp as a defensive point, attracting defensive monsters to attack. This will take a lot of time, right? How long will it take for this plan to succeed? Li Xian couldn't help but ask the female pastor. The priestess pondered for a moment. At the fastest half a day, at most a day. We will be able to successfully complete the task. Half a day at the fastest, a day at the most. The qualified customs clearance time for this dungeon is 1 hour. This plan, obviously not. Li Xian couldn't bear it and said directly. Actually, my strength is very strong. Even if there are many monsters guarding that canyon. Only relying on my own strength. It can also be easily pierced. I think it would be better to break through the pass directly. The expression on the female pastor's face was somewhat helpless. The tone is also somewhat perfunctory and said, I believe you are strong. But this way, she was just halfway through her sentence. Li Xian is from the professional space. He took out his magic grenade gun. Shoot towards the open space in the distance. Boom. Accompanied by a deafening explosion sounded. Use the space within 60 meters around the grenade landing point. All were enveloped by raging flames and terrifying impact. Instantly, the priestess and the knights around her all fell into silence. I can launch dozens of such attacks. And I have more powerful attacks than this. I think we can kill them directly. What do y'all think? In the silence of the priestesses and knights, Li Xian asked them this question. I think, got. The priestess just uttered a few words. Her voice was like a jam. He kept saying one word over and over again. It's like a computer that was halfway running suddenly crashed. But soon, after this dead state lasted for a few seconds, the priestess went on talking again. You don't need to persuade me anymore. I've made a decision. We must follow the original plan. The female priest directly erased the previous memory. Forced to jump to the end of the dialogue, he said something inexplicable. Good guy. This is the dungeon program that I crashed. Directly delete the factors that lead to the crash. Forcibly jump to the plot after the end of the dialogue. Li Xian couldn't help but feel a little delicate, considering whether to try it again. See if you can forcibly break through the program set by this dungeon. Complete this dungeon according to your own wishes. But at this moment, the knight captain, who is the leader among those knights, came to Li Xian, said softly to Li Xian, do not worry. We think the same as you. Wait until after the lure plan starts. We will pay with our own lives. Slay a bloody path among the obstacles of those monsters. At that time, she will be handed over to you for protection. You must protect her. Take her to the Angel's Gate and activate the Angel's Gate. Summon the angels of the heavens to banish the monsters from the land. Let this land shine again with light and hope. After saying this to Li Xian in a low voice, the knight captain deliberately raised the volume again. Said in a voice that the priestess could hear. Okay, stop talking. Follow the plan. We start the monster lure plan now. As long as the plan works, we can save this land just the same. Do you understand? This. Li Xian was a little dazed. After crashing this copy program by myself, what plot did this dungeon program skip? How did it become so strange? Li Xian couldn't figure out what was going on. But it doesn't matter. Just go directly to the canyon where those monsters are. As long as you can go straight there. I took the weapon and killed all the monsters on the road. They're really just a program. Should you always follow me? With this in mind, Li Xian didn't continue to do it. Things that make the copy program crash. Instead, he agreed with the cavalier captain's words. Quietly followed among the knights. Keep walking towards the distant mountains and valleys. If it really crashes this program, who knows how I will calculate the customs clearance score of this dungeon? If you don't give me a grade, At that time, you won't even be able to pass the admissions exam. Give me an unqualified review. Then I will lose face when the time comes, but I will lose a lot. Li Xian's thoughts were spinning. The front of Li Xian's team. There was also one. Canyons with direct access to the interior of the mountains. Alpine Valley has arrived. Look ahead to the alpine canyons that lead to the interior of the mountains. Looking at the monsters entrenched and wandering outside the canyon. Captain of the night squad. Pointing to the mountains and valleys ahead, he said. This is the Alpine Canyon. Countless monsters gather in this canyon. Even a powerful demon lord. It also exists in this canyon. But as long as you pass through this mountain valley, we'll make it to the Angel's Gate. As long as the Angel Gate is activated, the breath of darkness and death will be expelled from this land. The power of light and hope. It will cover this land again. We, too, will become heroes on this land. After an impassioned speech, the knight captain looked at a knight in the team and said, the job of the first round of monster attraction. I'll leave it to you to do it. Every step of the plan is extremely important. It is related to whether we can successfully save this land. We must complete the task well. The knight captain was just halfway through his words. Li Xian, who had been with this team before, he took out his magic grenade gun directly. Pull the trigger on those monsters at the entrance of the mountain valley. Boom! Terrifying impact and fire. In an instant, those monsters near the mountains and valleys will be wiped out. Empty about half of it. Ah! Roar _ woo! Encountered such a massive attack. The remaining half of the monsters at the entrance of the Alpine Valley. And entrenched in the mountains and valleys. Squeeze the entire mountain valley to the watertight monster. All were attracted. The monsters let out terrifying howls. Like the tide, coming towards the direction where Li Xian and others are. What are you doing? You're going to kill us all. Li Xian sighed. A knight couldn't help shouting angrily. But Li Xian ignored him. Holding the magic grenade gun in his hand. Towards the swarming monsters, he squeezed the trigger in his hand again. Boom, boom, boom. Under Li Xian's intentional control. Those grenades fired from the magic grenade gun. It was launched in a distributed manner. Fall into the army of those monsters. Then, boom, boom, 5 or 6 grenades exploded simultaneously. Terrifying impact and fire. It is directly the distance from Li Xian to the mountains and valleys. It's all covered up. The monsters in this area. Naturally, they all died in this terrifying explosion. Not a single monster survived. Li Xian's attack successfully deterred those monsters in the mountains and valleys. All those monsters hid in the canyon. Never dare to leave the mountains and valleys. Rush out from the mountains and valleys. HMPH. It's just a strange tide. That's all. See the monsters beyond the canyon being emptied. The monsters in the canyon could not curl up. A disdainful smile appeared on Li Xian's face. Subsequently, Li Xian looked at those behind him. The stunned knight and priest said, look, I just said that my strength is very strong. These monsters can't stop my attack at all. Now as long as I continue to bomb the monsters in the canyon like this, we can easily pass through this canyon. Then you will follow me. Come through this canyon with me. Go to the Angel's Gate on the opposite side of the canyon. Those knights and priestesses behind Li Xian. This time it didn't get stuck like before. But after looking at each other, they nodded in unison. I didn't expect you to be so powerful. In this case, we don't have to continue with the previous plan. Forcibly break through directly, kill it. The knight captain represents the other knights. Li Xian's proposal was accepted. The female pastor who had previously refused no matter what. There was also no rejection as before. Instead, he cheered excitedly. Great, there is a strong man like you here. We can definitely activate the Angel Gate without any damage. It seems that there is no problem. Li Xian smiled. Look again at the mountains and valleys ahead. The muzzle of the magic grenade gun in his hand. It also aimed at the monsters in the canyon again. But at this moment, Snow White's voice, from the Li Xian magic armor. Master, I suggest you change another weapon. According to my calculation of the terrain of this canyon, if you continue to attack with grenade guns, it will be after 6 grenades have been fired. Cause this canyon to collapse. This will seriously affect the speed of your team's progress. causing you to take more time than expected to pass. Will it cause the canyon to collapse? Li Xian looked towards the mountain that was previously covered by the grenade explosion. It was found that many rocks had indeed been blasted down in many places. If you continue to use explosive weapons such as grenades, there is indeed a risk of causing the canyon to collapse. It seems that grenade guns can no longer be used in this canyon. In that case, Li Xian's thoughts moved slightly. Put the magic grenade gun in your hand into the professional space. Instead, he took out another weapon. Gatling fell machine gun. The grenade will cause the mountain to collapse. Then this Gatling will never know. However, with Gatling's crazy rate of fire, Gatling's bullets probably won't last until the end of the battle. So, Li Xian thought again. Next second, 5 terrorist robots and 20 mechanical dogs. Released from the professional space by Li Xian. Bai Shui, wait until you enter the canyon. You control these combat units to fight with me. Yes, Bai Shui agreed to Li Xian's order without hesitation. Then, Li Xian looked at the knights behind him again and said, the explosive attack just now. It's easy to cause this canyon to collapse. Next I will switch to other weapons to attack. Take care to protect yourselves. The knights behind Li Xian nodded. It is good. We know. Don't worry. We are not weak. Among the responses of the knights behind him, Li Xian summoned the magic armor to the body surface. Subsequently, Zero, carrying the Gatling magic machine gun in his hand, with 5 horror robots around, and 20 mechanical dogs. Li Xian took it step by step, into the mountains and valleys. Ow, roar, woo, just stepped into the mountains and valleys. Those monsters who were huddled in the canyon before did not dare to go out. Immediately, there was a terrifying howl. Rode along the canyon. Charged towards the direction where Li Xian and the others were. Thought you couldn't use a grenade gun. Am I not a threat? You guys are so naive. Li Xian snorted coldly. He pressed the switch of the Gatling magic machine gun in his hand. Clack cluck. With the opening of the Gatling magic machine gun switch, the barrel of the Gatling magic machine gun in Li Xian's hand began to rotate slowly, preheating for the barrel feed. After a brief second or two, the barrel of the Gatling magic machine gun in Li Xian's hand was warmed up. Then, da, fierce tongues of flame spewed out from the muzzle of the gun. Countless mana is under the terrifying rate of fire of the Gatling mana machine gun. Connected into a storm of bullets, pour towards those monsters in front of Li Xian. Puff, puff, puff. The sound of bullets piercing through flesh and blood continued to resound. Under the terrorist attack of the Gatling magic machine gun, those monsters charging towards Li Xian and the others, like straw in a rice field, harvested in flakes. Pieces were torn to pieces by the storm of bullets. Pieces turned into corpses lying on the ground. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.